This platform is independent, and we wanted to work with everyone across the spectrum. So folks are invited to share what they know, and the viewers makes their choice, and we ask the questions and we give the guest the opportunity to answer.
This craziness, man, I do not care. Why am I so anti-establishment? Because of what I've seen the establishment do to people. That's why I cannot be pro-establishment.
Power is in the hands of the people. And it really did. What we all witnessed is the government, they knew that they're heading in the wrong direction. They knew Gambians are speaking in the same voice.
What law in the books that says the government has power to come out and go after folks' private citizens' properties and demolish them because somehow the government interest?
The only way that we can salvage our country is when everybody that gets their hand dirty. Don't sit there with your expertise and just to procrastinate everything that people say or pontificate, what everybody says or does. Let's get our hands dirty.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Another Sunday for the people, by the people. Brother Marong, as we inch closer to 2026, the stakes are getting higher. People are getting, oh my God. Sukuta yesterday. Interesting rally. A lot of stuff was said. Who is going to dissect what came out of Sukuta? Other than this platform, this independent platform. And coincidentally, we will be having who else other than the Minister of Works, Transportation and Infrastructure. But there's not more to him. He is also a political mercenary. So we are going to dissect, fleshed out, talk politics. That's what we are going to do tonight. Definitely. Brother Maron, it's been a minute. Last Sunday, we said, Inshallah, we will be back.
Inshallah.
Here we are again, every Sunday, with the viewers that we always thank them. The reason why we come every Sunday is because of you guys. Because of we know that you expect us to be here. That is why we're here. Brother Maron.
That's true, man. That's true. Yeah, Sukuta was on the last night. So interesting too. The timing was very interesting. When I heard Ebrima was gonna appear, I said, oh man, political messaging started, and it makes sense the day after the rally. Good timing that I would appear out for the people, by the people. But we'll hear what he has to say,
Ebrima.
Oh no, he's a political junkie,
Oh, are you kidding me? He is more than that. And who else that has just slided? A homeboy from the nation's capital. Life is good, and life is
good. Why is life good most?
Brother is happy. Life is good.
Why are you happy?
Now you're going to, coach the time of a land.
No, sorry, I don't listen to this man. Ebrima, are we live?
Not yet. I don't think we're live. We're live, actually.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, Ebrima is waiting. He cannot wait to join us today. So I told him the other week he came here, we talked about the works ministry. Today is politics 101. So NPP, UDP, UMC or UFC.
Bro, why are you trying to denigrate us?
I'm denigrating you, man. Listen, Yet Ahmad Ba has given you all the balls that you need. So
ñëpp
please,
xam nañ ñëpp xam nañ fi affaire bi nekk nit ñaa ngi koy wax nit ñaa ngi koy joxoñ Every, everybody knows. And my fana brother from Salon, he can't help himself. He's one of the most transparent. Whatever he is thinking,
By the way, he smelled the coffee, huh?
he did not mince his words. He was like, Taliban, we cannot take them for it. This movement, we have to do this, we have to do that. I'm like, yeah. Musa not today. Musa not today.
Mune mag naka ndaw guy ut ndam ak mag yu daw gàcce.
Whoa.
Abad is full.
Something is happening. Something definitely is happening. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing for our country. It's a good thing for our democracy. As we witness what is happening all over the African continent, we all see what is happening in Tanzania. Horrible. And you're talking about democracy being threatened. We all witness what is happening in Cameroon. That is why, Brother Marong, we can never take our democracy for granted. I think it's absolutely very important. There is no way you will be able to build a country, a viability of a nation, whether you're talking about social structures, the economy, infrastructure, whatever you want to talk about, at the end of the day, in the absence of the very foundation of a country, that is political stability, making sure that everybody acknowledges and also say that is why it is absolutely important for us to nurture and consolidate this democracy. Brother Marong, we need to do that, definitely. We've always been reminded.
By forming movements and all that.
That is part of the
let me get some sunlight, man. Let me get some sunlight.
You know, Musa, full disclosure, NPP from Nekani for the next 2 weeks, I ain't saying anything bad about you guys. You guys are, good. I like your response to Jammeh. He can come, but he'll be prosecuted. So, I right now, what? That's all I care about. So until something ridiculous happens, but most your guy, I should not call him your guy, Mr. Jammeh. Mune dafa ñëwaat baro de ko yoon waangi ni. No, why you gotta give Barrow one thing, Musa. I think when it comes to just throwing shade and just connecting with people when he speaks at a rally,
right,
I don't think you can take that away from him. He just has a way of just getting people connected to him and all that stuff. Especially when he said, so I watched their rally, the whole rally, Deba. It was very funny, comical sometimes. I saw my boy Henry came there, touch Kasi. But I think it was all good, definitely. At least, Dr. Cisse Mom.
Oh my God.
It's something else.
It's absolutely. But Pasamado, like you said, President Barrow, when it comes to campaigning, he's definitely one of the best. I mean, he knows how to connect. But you know what though? I listen. There was nothing new. It's the same old. Seriously. If you go back to 2021, you listen to what this man used to say. You tune in yesterday at Sukuta. Bro, it's the same old. It's all about Usainu. It's all about Usainu this, Usainu that. Come on now. It's going to get a little bit stale. It's going to get a little bit old. I don't think it has the same impact, the same applauses, the same humor. It doesn't really It's getting old. It's just like the same old. You know what? Xam nga biñ nekkee xalel dañ daan toog nii ci junction yi jëm Sénégal and then dañoo maye. And then we have this guy. He always come up with the same old man. And he talks about sàcca bi dugg demoon ci kër gi mu sàcca paa bi jàpp ko bi ko paa bi jàppee mu ne ko waaye paa dimbale ma paa bi ne ko déedéet duma la dimbale duma la dóor mu ubbi pompe bi jox ko li bi ne ko naanal sàcca bi naan ba pare ne ko jërëjëf waay naan naa ba mandi mu ne ko déedéet naanalaat sàcc bi di naanaat ba nga xam ne fu nekk boy bi it was getting a little bit uncomfortable mu ne ko waaye jërëjëf waay parce que dëgg fi mu nekk nag man dinaa dëgg mu ne ko naanaa laat sàcc bi yu ko ne woy yaa yooy dimbale leen maan so this guy, it's the same old, and we kind of get tired of it.
Can I ask you a question, Mos?
Bro.
No. I know where you're going with this. Are you saying that people are getting tired of it because of your movement? Is bringing
no. Wait,
sorry. But why Ebrima would come? He would defend that. Whether people are getting tired of it.
We are not going to be. Why is this guy raining on my parade? All I'm saying is this: President Barrow is a campaigner. Yes, he is. Does he connect with people? Yes, he does. Yesterday, it was a little bit different because people are tired of the same old. Are we going to be 2026? Are we all going to be talk about Usainu Dabo and what he did or didn't do? I got to get this call.
Sarian, thank you. Safe by the phone call. Go ahead, Mr. Sarian. You're muted though, Sarian.
I think Musa's analogy is very, very funny, but I see where he's going at with this.
You know where he was going. I know him very well. I know exactly where he was going. You know, he's so transparent. Why Amadba? So,
Salam, we said it. Well, no, it's true. I think, yeah, he has some humor, but I think he could have, addressed pressing issues that are facing the country.
Oh, no. I don't think he has answers for that. So when you don't have answers for something, you deflect.
Yeah. So you deflect. Now it's up to opposition to kind of, get things in order and communicate and get to the battlefield and share and talk to the voters. So, I mean, it was quite interesting that he has warning shots to the ministers, to the permanent secretaries, to the alcalos and chiefs that everyone will be engaged. Everyone will be active in politics. There is absolutely nothing like I am a minister, I am non-affiliated or anything like that. He said everyone will be involved. So that was quite interesting. And he meant...
It was. And I hope permanent secretaries would not be involved in this. Yeah. Political appointees, they can do whatever they want to do. And you see, and this is where the problem comes. With this attestation, Sibopa, if you have alcalos that are partisan, especially towards the state, they are part of the state apparatus, the ruling party apparatus. And these are the same people who are also supposed to attest to registration of voters, pretty much for people, because of opposition may not have the capacity to bring people who are not qualified to vote to register. So how do you make this separation where you have people who are partial, impartial, is it?
Yes,
people who are not partisan to be able to participate in the process. All I'm saying, Moine, I know Henry started with that, and I know where they are coming from. When there are some ministers who think their appointment is man bokumachi politics. If you are a minister, you are part of it. Now, ministers, I don't have a problem with it. But I think we have to also have a process that is fair, and we cannot have people who are players to also act as referees in this process. Because the most critical aspect of our electoral process is the registration of voters. It is, in fact, more critical than even the voting itself. Because our voting is so foolproof, it's hardly, almost impossible to kill. But you can do whatever with the registration process. We cannot have Musa Jeng as a member of the Unite movement who has a candidate and then we go to Musajeng to also see whether somebody who will potentially vote for to see whether the person could be, attested to as a citizen and could have voters cards. So I hope they just continue to play fair and also have this separation that we need, and not have what we now have in the United States, where you don't even understand where the separation is anymore.
Yeah. But Pasamba, coming back to the point that I was trying to make, is that
Most you look young at Kabide. Maybe you should
President Barrow,
more.
President Barrow, bena li rek la am. Nana suñu wajange ñew mu ne ko xam nga but anyway, I'm gonna seize that and we welcome Minister Ebrima Sillah.
Yes, Uncle Musa of United Movement. Is it Unite or United?
The name is Unite.
Me, I'm sitting in my little corner. Yes.
The name is Unite. The last name is Movement.
Unite
it's about uniting people for integrity, transformation, and equality. That's what the country needs.
As if we have never been equal before. As if we have never been transparent before.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
This is bad deal for us.
But we are going to dig into this. The lack of transparency, we're going to get into it. The lack of equality, we're going to get into that. So there is a reason.
Now, it is very strange. Equality comes normally from people who think that they are higher up there. I mean, so don't worry. You'll find us on below the saddle there.
welcome, Minister Sillah.
Thank you, Father Mose, and thank you. Yeah, thank you, Uncle Mose. And it's been a long time that since we had our conversation. I saw that Coach is sitting, very relaxed, and I hope he doesn't have those very, very tough questions for us.
No.
At Syria, at least I think
I'm NPP for 2 weeks.
At least.
For 2 weeks.
Okay, for 2 weeks. Okay,
yes.
Excellent. Just 1 minute. Let me just close this door.
Yeah, I made my promise. I'm going to try very hard to keep it. I don't know whether I can.
One day, Boy Fati is not going to.
No, Boy Fati, all you will hear is His Excellency President Adama Barrow. Even if you want, I can add doctor. So.
No, it doesn't matter. Let's just call him His Excellency President Adama Barrow.
So, Brother Marong.
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, your man is here. One thing we have to give it to Ebrima, though, Minister Sillah. To be honest, though, whenever we reach out to him and said, hey, we want you to come to 40 people by the people, the guy doesn't get intimidated. He goes to every platform. And I have to give it to him, definitely. And yesterday, finally, when I saw the pictures and the videos, I'm like, there's one thing I can tell you. The guy came from the University of UDP. That's what they do. They like to put out pictures and videos and crowd. This guy.
This was just a warm-up.
No,
it was just a warm-up just to, show to our cousins and also the newcomers that we are still the most formidable in the field.
I just woke up to attack.
How was organized, how the welcoming was done, how the whole razzmatazz was arranged. You will definitely know that there is no other one better than the NPP when it comes to the politics of organizing the people and the real people, for that matter. One thing we don't do is we don't move with a rented crowd. All right. Anybody that you saw on that crowd and in that crowd, the rest are so that they all came from the West Coast. And we insisted that we wanted to test the grounds. We test run, and then we saw the reality, we saw the enthusiasm, we saw the excitement, and we saw that the real base is still very solid. So with the exception of few that probably, we need to work on, I think the NPP is good to go.
Good to go, he said.
And remember that this is going to be a continued program of engagement. And Hakalang is coming next Saturday. Hakalang is coming next Saturday. We're very excited about it. Kiang West is going to be followed. Then we are going back to the CRR North, where we are going to inaugurate the roads linking the Karantaba and including Karamba Tourist village, Demfai, Tabanani, and all those areas around the Senegal border on the north. Yeah, and we from there we are coming to Salum, where we have the Njao Loop, which is now connected to the river side of the Nyaminas. So we have now successfully connected Nyamina and Nyamina crossing point and the Salum crossing point. Yes, so that one is done, and then very soon also we are going to inaugurate the road coming from Kunting then to Yona, and then Bani, Salikenye, coming all the way to Lamenkoto. These were communities that were cut off completely. And then inside Basse also, we are doing a phenomenal job there, doing a lot of concrete roads. And then from there, we are going to inaugurate a major road link, 13 kilometers, linking Basse Mane Kunda, going to Dembakunda Ngaleng, and then Dembakunda Kuta, then going all the way to Numuyel, then to the highway, so to Masare, it will link up, Then we are coming back to the Kabadas, for the first time in the history of this country, they are getting first-class roads. 101 kilometers, linking different loops, from Casamas border coming back to the Basse, Soma, Birkama Highway, then going back again, going to, the Transgambia to the Casamas and coming back. It's phenomenal job there, Musa. And the excitement is huge. The excitement is huge. And that is why when we hear some of these daydreamers talking about, rustling, the solid basis of the NPP because of, cheap talk, we laugh. These are people who actually are out of touch with the reality, Uncle Musa. And, the political movement is not only about Banjul, Rekunda, and Brikama. And that's where the choice is for some of these noisemakers.
So, noisemakers, you call them. But Ebrima,
yes.
Now, any sitting government, an incumbent, if there is one thing that they are very good at, and anybody can do that, it doesn't really take a lot of logistics, it's organizing a meeting like what you did in Sukuta. It's not really difficult. Any sitting government can do that. Now, we saw the crowd is massive. No doubt about that. They were mobilized. No doubt about that. But what I'm saying is, we saw the crowd. How do you reconcile that with information we've been getting from the Gambian people, the actual voters? Like I said, mobilization is one thing. You go to any African country, an incumbent would basically mobilize a lot of people. Yahya Jammeh in 2016 mobilized a lot of people. He ended up losing. We all saw the Afrobarometer polling. 70% wrong track. We just saw Cyprus. 60% are saying they will not vote for Barrow. How do you reconcile that? Because that's real data. That's real data. We're not talking about mobilization. How do you reconcile that with what you call yesterday the massive, supermassive crowd for the NPP? How do you reconcile that?
Okay. First, let me tell you this. In our body politics today, it is always very, very difficult to distinguish the real supporters of a ruling party from those that are very loud on the social media and they are almost everywhere, jumping from one platform to the other, making serious opinions about a sitting government. And we are very much alive to this fact, and we also look at it from the angle of a very strategic position. Because, for example, if there has to be a story about NPP government today, negative for that matter, you look at those people that are either commenting there or that are clicking with angry on those there. You look at those profiles, and then you also go through their profiles and the postings that they make and the people that are commenting there. You can close a bracket of not more than 3,000 to 5,000 at any given time on an issue that is on a hot cake of discussion. And this has to be understood very clearly. That is why in most countries today, the pundits are getting a lot of things wrong because the polling is basically done on social media and the opinionated issues that are on the social media. Now, we did not dismiss the fact that there are issues and challenges that people have strong opinions about. However, the most steadfast, strong-based supporters of the MPP will not be found unnecessarily arguing on the social media. They will not be found participating in pollings, and they will not be found on ferocious, discussion platforms where issues for or against the NPP are being discussed. They may be looking at them and then they make their own opinions and then they move on. If you go to Spain today, I can tell you that the NPP has more support base in Spain than any political party. And Spain is one of the countries with the highest number of Gambian migrants. If you go to Italy also, you go to Gabon, you go to Benin, you go to Togo, you go to Democratic Republic of Congo, you go to Angola, you go to Sierra Leone. I'm telling you, apart from Western Europe, these are countries with the highest number of Gambian migrants and with very strong, solid economic base. So these people will not have time to go to social media and make noise. Now, if you go to URR, where almost 60 to 70% of the strong base of the voter population are NPP, you go to CRR North and CRR South, where almost the same 70 to 75% of the strong base of the NPP, are base. Those people, even if you call them on radio programs, they will rather focus on what they think they believe in than to go on this unnecessary banter. So therefore, the African Barometer and all other polling programs that we have seen been published recently have to be looked within the premise of this reality. Within the urban area, and I can tell you that it is evenly tilting towards the NPP. The majority of those people that hold strong opinion about what are being alleged out there as NPP supporters will not comment on those ones because they will see them as unnecessary and a big waste of time. So what I'm seeing as over-reliance on some of these pollings and some of these data are actually highly misplaced and in some cases very wrong and also can be very misleading. They are overblated with the same number of people. I have had the opportunity of doing 3 or 4 platforms recently. One What's on Gambia, very popular platform among Gambians based inside the Gambia and outside the Gambia. And I have to give it to those people. They did very well to build their platforms. And also the Care Fatu. And also, Fatu Network and For the People by the People. For the People by the People because you have a very strong, credible program. And many of the people that listen to your program are highly informed people. So if you look at the commentary there, and I went to the profiles of many of these people, and I look at the things that they have been posting over the years, and the number of people that are commenting there, comparing it with those commentaries of 1.2 thousand people that liked or commented on a forum or on a story against the government, you realize that it's the same circle that is repeating over and over and over again. So for me, the circle is not growing. The circle is solid, base, and vocal, and highly forthright in their opinions against the government. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's growing. Loud does not necessarily mean that they are big and strong. And that's what I'm telling you, that the 2021 scenario may repeat itself in a much bigger and fundamental way. That some of the political parties that we even see as threat may not necessarily even come second. This I'm telling you based on the data that we are looking at, and then also, you know, the analysis that we are doing is going to be a huge split. The NPP's base is extremely very, 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 very solid. And I want to believe that, you know, the national political dispensation is such that the ruling party and its position is not a gamble. It's a given, and it is strong, and it is predictable.
So
you know,
predictable.
Yes,
predictable. I mean, when we talk about, I just want to clarify for the record before I ask the second question. The polling that was done was not done on social media. The pollings that were done in the country by Afrobarometer, actually talking to Gambians. Same thing with Cyprus. So I mean, those are not polling from Facebook or whatever opinion that Mr. Ajeng holds.
I looked at the Cyprus polling, and I have always said this, that they are very credible, because over the years they did some very big studies, and they have found to be very credible. They have almost, the margin of error is like between 1% and 3%, which is extremely very good. They predicted the election victory of 2021 of President Barrow, and they got it right. They predicted the opposition victory in the parliamentary election. They got it right. They predicted the opposition victory in the national local government elections. They got that one also right. And many of the scientific studies that they have done, they also got those ones right. So we don't discard them. However, what I'm telling you is that the period of studies also matter a lot. The time when this particular studies was done, you have to understand that majority of the NPP supporters are ordinary local people that are either preparing their farms, or they were doing other things that actually would not allow them to participate and sit and then, you know, discuss with people about what they think of a government that they support. So I can tell you,
that's a hell of a spin. I guess UDP doesn't farm. Dry folks, they don't farm.
No.
NPP are the only farmers out there.
I am just telling you that the NPP has a solid core base, majority of whom would not participate in pollings. And even if you ask them, they will tell you, the first question they will tell you, why would I have to bother? I support my president, and, you know, I move on. They don't even entertain it. And that is where, you know, a lot of intellectuals are getting so many things wrong in our country, because they think that, you know, our daily politics is like every morning, good morning, and then good evening, and good afternoon. You know, I mean, those are so basic. And unless you understand the mindset of the people, you know, that actually vote, especially where the majority of NPP support is, you will find it very difficult to comprehend an NPP victory, because it will always hit on your face. Like Trump, with all the, you know, hype about the Democratic candidates of Hillary Clinton and then, you know, the other lady, you know, Kamala. What came out was a stunning, decisive turnaround for the Republicans because they have chosen to be quiet, they have chosen to stay away from the polls, and they have chosen to remain very focused on what they think, no matter who is there, they believe they should support. And that is between the 17 and 23% supporters of the UDP. No matter who is there, they are going to follow that person. Now, it is always very surprising that some of these type of supporters are always marginalized because people think that they don't know, or people think that, they are not sophisticated enough, or people think that, they are not focused on what they are doing. But these people really are very focused, they are very sophisticated, and they don't just want to be bothered. They wake up in the morning, go to their farms, do whatever they want to do, go to their gardens, come back, and then they don't even, bother about, what Musa Jeng is saying, or for the people, by the people, what, Hussein Udabo is saying in the newspapers, because they think they'll tell you, we have seen our Adama Barrow. He has fixed our roads, he has brought electricity for us, he has built hospital for us, he has done this for us, so we don't care what they say. So this is it. And interestingly, a growing support base for the NPP now is coming from the same population of demographic that we are all looking at, the young people. Today, I can tell you the strategic shift that we are receiving in terms of support from the young people in the towards the NPP is far more than any other political party in this country. You'll be surprised. Because all the other political parties, with the exception of Mama Kande and the movement of Esam Baifal, all of them are very old people, and young people don't see themselves in them. They see themselves in President Adama Barrow because there is a clear succession strategy. It is all very clear. President has very meticulously laid out this succession strategy. Yes, in terms of what has to be done, because President is clear. His agenda is when he finishes his term, a younger NPP supporter comes in, takes over, and then another young person comes in, another young person comes in. We don't want to go beyond 60, 55, 60 years of our body politics in terms of leadership. But we have others that and remember, some of them
let's give the answers a little bit short. We're gonna delve into all of that. Let's give the answers a little bit kind of summarized.
Because let me allow my understand today that our politics. We cannot argue with our grandfathers and our
okay, Ibrahim, honorable minister,
with our age mates.
So let me let the guys come in.
Young people are finding a home in the NPC.
Yes,
then you can answer. Come on.
No, I want to tell you the reality on the ground. I want to tell you the reality on the ground.
Okay, no problem. We're telling me the reality. Okay, so Honorable Minister, thank you very much for joining us today. Honorable Minister, I heard you said MPP has a strong base in Angola, Spain, Italy, and I think it's Greece and somewhere else, right? So my question to you is, and it seems like
even in the US,
hold on. Let me finish. Don't preempt my question. That way you can answer short and sweet. Then we can go on to the next.
Don't be fooled by the noise making.
No. I'm not fooled by. But let me ask my question, though. Let me finish. So now my question to you is it the reason why the MPP government sent immigration officials to go register those members in those countries? Did you heard my question?
Yeah, I mean that is not the motivating factor, because I've heard your question, and very well for that matter. That cannot be the motivating factor, because nationality is a non-compromising position of any government around the world. I mean, we have Gambians who have no, national document, who have nothing to be identified with as Gambians. And, it is the responsibility of a responsible government like ours to make sure that our people have the right documents in countries where they are. Because right now, I don't know whether you are aware of this, a lot of countries within the ECOWAS sub-region are implementing what they call the ECOWAS, card for non-members of countries where they found themselves in. I mean, like immigrant communities. And this card is as good as, your ID card. But how do you register people when they don't have any form of identification? How will you know that they are Gambians? How will you know that they are immigrants? So they have to have a form of identification document. And that is also good for our Gambian brothers and sisters who cannot, benefit from the basic of services in some of those communities where they find themselves in. In Italy, there is a crisis of this type of situation where Gambians, young Gambians who went to Italy, some of them threw the bag away. By the time they were entering in some of these countries, they threw their national documents away because they didn't want to be identified and then, return home. And then, at the end of the day, when, certain things became easier for them, they needed this form of identification documents to be able to do certain things. So going to Italy, and I'm surprised because I'm not hearing anybody that is criticizing the government for going to Mauritania or other countries in Africa, criticizing our presence in Italy, criticizing our presence in Spain, criticizing our presence in other countries within Western Europe. And I think we need to look at this, within an opportunistic way, so that at the end of the day, every Gambian is entitled to having a document, is not excluded from this opportunity.
Yeah, so thank you very much. But my question was not that. And my question specifically, and I think going back to 2021, before the election,
yes,
Mr. Sillah stood up and said, Barrow is going to win by 52%. And that was pretty close. Okay? So now you are banking on a data. And
because we were working with real data.
No. Yes, you're working with real data. Yes. So here we go again.
Yes.
You're telegraphing the same strategy, but you are saying MPP has strong, supporters. The support base, biggest. You're saying diaspora is in Italy. My question to you is: we have Gambians in the United States, we have Gambians in Sweden, we have Gambians elsewhere. But the focus is not there to come register those members. And also you enlightened something that I wanted to ask.
They will all have their opportunity.
Okay. So here is another question. How do they go about
identifying? They will all have their opportunity.
Okay, no. My question to you is the citizenship part. When these folks go to Italy or somewhere else, how do they identify or authenticate or verify that these folks are Gambians?
Well, they go through an authentication process, which is clearly laid out before you get a national document of the Gambia. It's a constitutional issue. It's clearly spelled out in the constitution of the Gambia. Who is a Gambian and who is not a Gambian, what you need to do to identify, whose Gambianness is genuine or not in terms of, before you can get a Gambian document. And I think, these are well-established procedures that are followed. We have seen that majority of those people have either expired voters cards, identity cards, or passports that have expired and they could not move out of the countries where they are. So the Gambian documentation processes is something that really is followed, and we have to give it to the immigration department for actually following the processes and then the due process to ensure that this does not go out of the acceptable norms. And I think so far when they've started this, there has not been any complaint about non-Gambians being issued this document.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ebrima, I'll have to go from there. Section 9 of the Constitution is very, very clear on citizenship. And you mentioned the Department of Immigration. There was a public PA, whatever, that they did on Facebook on this matter. And one of their requirements, according to them, was attestation. And I commented then that attestation would be in violation of the Constitution. Because being born in the Gambia does not necessarily make one a Gambian citizen. Because one or two of your parents must have been born in the country or a grandparent for you to be a Gambian. But
in the Gambia.
Gambia. And this is where I have a problem with even the attestation with voters card. So meaning a Musa Jeng who was born in Kungel, somebody would come, or his parents came from Kungel, was born in Kawulu, but it's not a Gambian. Somebody can say, oh, but Monday get a man on Filo Judo. But that does not necessarily mean that he's a Gambian. So what are we doing to make sure that those who are getting the documents, because there was something that you say very clear, that there are instances where people throw away their documents because they didn't want to be identified. So anybody who has thrown away a document could not necessarily be in possession of an expired document. So what do we do to make sure that there is due diligence, that those who are entitled to have Gambian passports or Gambian IDs have it?
Yeah, that's a very good question. What I do see is that we have highly trained professionals at the immigration department. And what I have been seeing is that, I mean, people at the highest level of commissioner with a lot of experience actually are part of these processes where they go to the diaspora and then, embark on this with a number of other staff that actually serve as support. And that I want to believe that the constitutional requirements are indeed followed, and that, anything that has to do with the procedure of obtaining these documents valid to the point of a due process that is put in place. I am not particularly familiar with how they do it, but I can definitely ask the immigration department and then, provide the information to you.
And now the next question that I have, Ebrima, you indicated here how the amount of support that you have in the diaspora.
Yes.
The Constitution of the Gambia is very clear as to our right to enfranchisement, as in, I think, Section 39 of the Constitution, which was tried in the courts. The court said, yes, we were to vote. But when it went to the National Assembly, even though the Minister of Justice erroneously advised them, he came back and corrected it and said that, yes, Gambians in the diaspora can be registered based on constituencies that they came from. But your party, the NPP, the party that supposedly has this vast support abroad, voted overwhelmingly, in fact, unanimously, to deny the Gambians the right to vote when they were tabling the elections bill. And interestingly, Section 11 of the Elections Act under Jammeh even affirmed the right to vote. But when it was brought to be made better, your party, the NPP, decided, nope, we're not having it. Because of some cacophony story about the unconstitutionality of it, even though the Minister of Justice came back and said, no, my argument, the one that I made the last time, was erroneous. It was brought to my attention that it was wrong. Gambians in the diaspora can still be registered based on constituencies that they came from. What say you to that, to borrow from Musa?
Well, I mean, the issue of the National Assembly's activities is a wholly fundamental issue of independence from the government. The National Assembly is an independent, arm of the government that the executive has no control over. What they do and how they conduct their business is purely the National Assembly doing its mandated job. How they disagree on divergence of issues is not the responsibility of the executive to pass that on them. And what we did as an executive is to lay before the National Assembly an election amendment bill that caters for a whole number of issues. Now, if the National Assembly, by their majority, which now places a collective responsibility on all the members of the National Assembly, including the institution itself, decided that they wanted to act in a way different from what we have tabled before the National Assembly. The executive could not do much about that because this is a co-equal branch of the state. And we could not do much about that because they have exercised their independence in terms of doing and discharging their functions and mandate. So the Gambia government, led by the APRC, led by the NPP.
Yeah, you can say APRC NPP coalition. That's fine.
Yes, APRC NPP. That's what I was going to say. But because we are talking about our government here. APRC, NRP, GPDP, and NPP-led, government. We believe that we still have the biggest support base in the diaspora. Like it or not, agree or not, our support base is far stronger, and you can look at it even in terms of the strategic positioning of the demographics, in terms of the supporters across the different parts of the continents around the world. Maybe in North America and some parts of Western Europe, where you have the larger percentage of social media presence and our critics. Yes, you can say that maybe because they are so loud and they make a lot of noise, they probably are the majority. But I can tell you, even in the United States, the silent majority are fully behind the NPP, are fully behind President Barrow, and come any diaspora voting, you will see that we will defeat you guys massively. Massively, for that matter.
All right. So, Minister Sillah, there is this.
Yes, sir. Uncle Musa.
This new phenomenon called the movement. And
yes,
we've all witnessed.
And what is the name of your movement again? Your movement, what is the name of it again?
Hold on. Unite. Like I said, it's about integrity, transformation, and equality. But my question is this.
Okay.
Madam Fatoumata Tamba Jang formed a political party, talked about it.
Yes.
We didn't hear nothing from the government or NPP or people like Ebrima Sillah.
Yes.
We've witnessed for the past 6 months, a lot of parties announced they're going to form political party. Zero response. Now,
yes.
What is about this movement? We heard your reaction. Immediately it was formed.
Yes.
Demba Sabali, all the political mercenaries, they went for the jugular. Even the president himself talked about it. And then, it goes on and on and on. And we heard what Ahmad Ba said yesterday. What is about this movement that you guys are scared of? Like my Mandinka cousins will say, look what are you guys afraid of?
I can tell you, Uncle Musa, and let me make this abundantly very clear. There is no political force in this country, singular or combined, that is a threat to the NPP. Even if all your political parties and your movements and your splinter groups, come together as one united front, we will still defeat them in the polls. Because the scenarios of 2016 are completely different. The change makers of 2016 that were fundamental in ensuring that the opposition came together. You still have some of those highly placed in the NPP. We know your strategies, we know your weaknesses, we know your issues, we know your problems, and we know what to do to make sure that we deny you of that responsible progress to get to where you are all yearning to be. Because first, you want us to be pushed into a chaotic situation in a country where people will rise up and then put the country in chaos. We are above that.
Who is doing that?
Yes, we know the different strategies at play.
No one sees
No, you
that.
cannot see that. You cannot see that. But these are the different strategies at play. Some use this.
Let's go back to my question, though.
Let me finish.
But you're not addressing my question.
Because, no, I mean, I am coming to your question so that, you know, I'm putting a base there. All right? We have seen how some people were thinking that they could bank on a chaotic situation in this country to discredit this government, to push our president to become, you know, what Jammeh did, you know, to a point that, you know, he is not only stacked up against the Gambian people, but stacked up against the international community. That is a no-go area for this government and for this leadership and for this president, because we have a president who is mature, who is tolerant, who actually is very focused on the job. Okay, we also have the other type of opposition that are purely, you know, doing deliberate disinformation and misinformation to carry along those that are lettered, those that they call the intellectual class, those that they call the young people, so that, you know, the Gambian people will see us as the monsters. So that disinformation and misinformation, we also have a strategy to counter that. The NPP is one big political party that has a branch in every village in this country. If you come to the towns, every ward we have, I mean, an executive committee there of nothing less than 23. Any disinformation or misinformation that is directed at this government, we make sure that by the time, if it is done in the morning before 12 o'clock, audios are circulated within our different political forums, and then the people know exactly. No, hold on, I'm coming to your movement. I'm coming to your movement, all right? Then, you know, people will know exactly the strategic disinformation that is being waged against this government, and our solid support base will disregard it. That is why the noise is only coming from them. We also have another group who think that they have to use, you know, reports that are still not verified through the proper processes to their logical conclusion to paint a picture that is so gloom and grim in this country. And then, you know, that is also a strategy, is also there to, you know, actually decipher that, right? Now, when it comes to this movement, to be honest, we have a situation where we have to think whether we should even be talking about this or not. Because personally,
about it, though.
No, I'm saying, you know, look, apart from the social media jobs that some of us are doing, we are very focused on what it matters in real politics.
You had a meeting yesterday. You had a meeting at Sukuta, your biggest rally after the formation of the movement, and we heard what Amanda said. One of your political
no. Don't try to quote Ahmad Ba out of you know, context. Honorable Ahmad Ba was speaking within a context that we have a young movement whose members are solid in the social media. And what they are doing is deliberate, dishonest discussions there. And that is a threat for serious political discussion, but not a serious political threat to our popularity and our strong basis. No. If you want to engage in serious political, you know, discussions, mature political discussions, you know, you have to engage, you know, face people with faces. But you'd hide behind a movement, and then, you know, you engage in highly sophisticated, delusional, you know, I mean, social media campaigns, you know, against established political parties. No, listen, you know, this, let me tell you, I am a trained, highly qualified communication strategist. All right, this is what I do for a living. I am telling you that whenever Talib speaks, whenever any of their people speak or write, you know, we don't only read, but we read behind the lines. All right, so it's very opaque, and that type of you know, masquerading in politics is that what Ahmad Ba was saying. The Unite movement cannot still even organize a political rally. All what I've been seeing is they go to, you know, I mean, maybe, you know, households. No, hold on. They go to, I mean, corner stores, and then, you know, they go to centers, youth centers, and then organize, you know, meetings there. And then because they know that, no, hold on, Haral Musa, they know that when they organize a political meeting, they will be exposed because the crowds will be seen. And then so what they do, they go into
go
these
with your-
youth centers.
where you go with
They
your
go into youth centers,
the
and then
old
you bring people
way
together,
of doing
arrange them
things.
to sit. Harold, arrange them to sit, in a highly coordinated fashion, and then they start taking pictures and videos. But look at the angles of those pictures. Look at the middle of those pictures. Look at the space between those, the people that are seated. You will know that these are hangarounds that are gathered together. I can tell you that the biggest challenge of, say, NPP is not any political party or an unregistered movement. Probably is our unwillingness to do what is supposed to be done, or our own fears. And that is something that has been overcome. Nobody can make us afraid in this country. Nobody can challenge us on the ground. Nobody can organize better than us. So I'm telling you that the Unite movement, and those of you that are rolling them with ideas, and also some resources outside and within, I can tell you that you guys are not threatening us.
Minister Sillah.
Not even a
I mean,
UDP
you've glossed over. You haven't answered my.
Party
Let me come with my second question. Let me come with my second question.
Now I'm just telling you that your movement doesn't matter. Me, I don't want to.
I think it matters. I mean,
because they
it's not
don't
what
matter
we
in
said,
our body
it's what
politics.
we have heard since its formation.
No,
but let me ask you my second question.
Where is your strength?
We listen
Where is
to
your strength? Tell me one idea or one formidable face that can
hold on.
a threat to any political party. No, I don't know. Because
I might have touched something there.
To even pose a challenge to UDP, to pose a challenge to NPP, to pose a challenge for the PDOIS. These are the formidable political parties.
One thing that I know,
basing all this hype from.
Minister Sillah, let me ask my second question. Yes. I listened to the president yesterday, and I think just before you came, I was saying something. I'm like, there's something about the president. Most of his, in as much as he's a good campaigner, but the rhetoric is stale and it's old. What we heard in 2021,
the rhetoric is what stale.
Stale. It's old. It become cliches. And I'm going to give you
this resonates.
My question.
See, and that is where.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me ask my question. If we remember back in 2021.
Okay, go on.
Let's remember back in 2021. There was something that the president kept saying at every campaign platform. And this was directed against Alhaji Ousainou Darboe. And we heard it yesterday as well. When Mr. Darboe was released from... Hold on. We have 3 hours. When Mr. Darboe was released from prison, the president always liked to caricature and mock and said, the way Mr. Darboe said that he was Annabi Musa. And basically saying, because of him being the Annabi Musa, he's responsible for his freedom. And he says it in a very mocking way. He did that back in 2021. He's now doing that again. It's the same old thing. And my question is this. The people that actually released Alhaji Ousainou Darboe's freedom, it wasn't Adama Barrow. He oversaw it. The people, the diaspora playing a crucial role in 2016. The people that lined up and basically walking into the polling booth, most of them who voted for Adama Barrow did not vote for Adama Barrow as a person because he wasn't known. Most of the people that were UDP supporters, they were voting for Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, who was in prison, and not necessarily Adama Barrow. So if you want to put a face on the person who actually freed Mr. Darboe from Mile 2, it wasn't necessarily him. If you really want to cut to the chase,
is that your analysis?
That's my analysis.
It's a very wrong analysis.
He kept going back to that.
It's a very wrong analysis.
As if he's the one responsible for the man's freedom. But for the man's freedom, it took 20 years of resilience. It took 20 years of leadership. It takes 20 years that you were part of to bring about the change in 2016. For one person to come up and say, I am the one who is responsible for that, I think it has a tinge of arrogance, and unfortunately, I don't think that's the whole truth. What say you to that?
No. You are completely wrong. You are completely wrong. You are completely wrong. I guess you know what we call the proverbial phrases of leadership. You have to lead, and you have to be a leader to unite and to have a force behind you. Remember, Musa, in 2016, I was very instrumental. In fact, I can tell you,
so was I.
And without boast,
all of us were.
Yeah, you and I know that. I mean, even the document that was used for the opposition coalition to agree on, you, me, Coach Pasambajau, Pata Sedikan, and I think Karamba Ture, and I think two or few others. I think this Jan, the Jan lady whose brother died in the Sika, yes, Sika. You know, we were in one forum, and you know, we were the ones writing these strategic documents for the opposition. All right, and remember that before all that, the UDP went on a national campaign to recruit someone that could lead the political party. We went helter-skelter. We even advertised it in the local newspapers. Nobody dared to come out. Personally, the former Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Mariam Denton, she is alive, she can confirm this. She tasked me and Mr. Karamba Ture in the US to headhunt. And I can tell you that I personally spoke to more than 15 people, highly qualified, highly suitable, highly educated, highly knowledgeable, to, you know, try and convince them to lead the UDP into this, you know, into the 2026 political process. All of them declined. Now came, you know, President Adama Barrow, who was part of the UDP executive. He was selected, sacrificed, still using that proverbial resilience, and then came out and won. And his first preoccupation, before any other thing, was to secure the release of the very people that you talked about. At the very tense time when former President Yahya Jammeh was in this country. So definitely to distinguish any, process that will, remove President Barrow's efforts.
I am not doing that.
In releasing.
I am not doing that. What I'm saying is, using it. What I'm saying is this. No, Ebrima. What I'm saying is using it as a campaign slogan to caricature the man.
There is nothing wrong in throwing political.
No, what I'm saying is,
all right,
the
issue of Moses and Nelson Mandela was, a common phrase. At the time when the victory was declared. If President Barrow was called the Moses of the Gambia, and he referred to Mr. Dabo as the Nelson Mandela of the Gambia. Now, if things fall apart, and then this is being narrated within a context for it to be understood.
No, the point that I'm making is,
yes,
to be honest with you, for him to stand on a platform, because we know that 2016 did not happen in 2016. It happened 20 years ago. There were a lot of people that sacrificed. It was a work that started for a long time. And you know, and I know the role that Mr. Dabo played during this process. So to say that, nobody, I was not.
Nobody, hold on. Nobody denied anyone's efforts. Even those people who lined up on that very fateful day
and voted
of December on the 1st to vote,
exactly,
they contributed immensely. Those people who campaigned, they contributed immensely.
Absolutely.
Those people who contributed their finances. But the biggest sacrifice was made was to have a leader who will lead all these things, and then give us a
we all know that. He was the
why would you want to discard that?
He oversaw that, but to say that he
did not oversaw it, he led it.
He led it. I don't think that is completely correct.
He led it with all his energy, with all his strength.
No, he was not. You know it, and I know.
Yes.
I'm telling you, President Barrow was a vessel that was used by a struggle of 20 years to bring about the 2016 change.
And that vessel could not deliver until, President Barrow led the coalition.
No, what I'm
when
saying
he
is,
sacrificed, when everybody was afraid.
no,
I
bro,
was in the
this
center of
sacrifice,
this. I was in the
people
middle
paid
of this.
the ultimate.
I can tell you
There
that
were
I
ultimate,
personally
there were people
contacted
that
more than 10
sacrificed.
Gambians. I can
Like,
tell you that I personally contacted more than 10
cannot be
Gambians. They
revisionist.
all declined. In fact,
No, this
I
was
saw
not.
one of them. Can I tell you a story?
How many people contested at that convention hall? So it wasn't a question of sacrifice. There were a lot of people that stood up and said, "Send me." He was not the only one who said, "Send me."
No, but this is what I'm telling you. You see, what you don't understand, I'm talking about the UDP. Other political parties had no crisis of leadership at that time. So we are talking about leading the UDP in that crisis moment, because UDP was the only party that was seen as a threat to the APRC then. So yeah, you know that Jammeh had no issue following other political parties. He had no issue with other political parties. He had an issue with the UDP because UDP was the biggest opposition to his political party, and they sustained that for 22 years. You know that very well, Musa. So what I'm telling you is that many of these people today, in fact, let me tell you a little story. One of them actually, whom I try to coach to become the leader. This particular guy, his younger brother was part of the security. And when he narrated my encounter with him, because he was really interested, and the brother told him, "La ilaha illallah. Do you know what you are doing? So you are working with Ebrima Sillah, and do you know the issue between those people and Jammeh?" The following morning, he fled to Senegal. Now, those are the people that I'm seeing active in social media saying that Barrow will not stand for the third term. I call him, yeah, have you forgotten 2026?
Yeah, but bottom line is though, I think the campaign for 2026.
Yes.
I think the campaign for 2026 cannot be just going back to the same old.
Throwing jabs in our body politics is normal. Politics is not for the fainted, hearts. It's not for the feeble hearts. It is for those that are strong, that are ready to face the reality, that are ready to defend what they believe in. If you think that politics is where we will just come and then massage your ego and then we will not do that. All right. That is why all of us, those who are insulting us, those who are insulting our parents, those who are trying to caricature us, we take it as good faith, because democracy is not a zero-sum game. It's a wholesome game. You cannot take one and then throw the other. The truth is, the NPP is the biggest political party. Nothing can come in that can take that away from us. And with all your sophisticated advices that you are giving, it's book knowledge, it's theory. You people are just theorizing this politics. I can tell you, this united movement, if you are not careful, by the time it starts,
it will die. United movement is unite.
No, I'm telling you, because it will die a natural death. That's why I don't talk about them, because I analyze the situation. I look at them. I look at their strategies. Okay, you go around into the rural areas. You register people. They show their support for you, and then you come out and say, within the first 3 months, we have more than 75,000 people, and it is growing. You will know this is theory. When we go into the field with you, you will know what is politics.
Honorable Minister, I listened to you, and you mentioned something that kind of concerns me a bit. You said, there are people who wanted to create some type of a political party that wanted to create some type of chaotic situation. And you and I both know we all love Gambia. No, hold on. Don't preempt my question. Let me finish my question. So let me. You said, they want to create a chaotic situation. What you and I both know, Pasamba Joe and Musa Jeng, and the rest of the people who are watching this platform today, we all love Gambia. We might have different political orientation, but our families are living there, and we only want peace in Gambia. What do you mean, if you could enlighten us? Who are those who are creating a chaotic situation? not by the means
Are
of
you guilty
democratic
of?
process.
Are you guilty of
No,
being
no,
one?
no. I am not. I am not. I'm asking you a question, and you
No,
need
no.
to.
Are you guilty of being one, Commander? Are you guilty of being
I
one?
am here to ask you a question, and with all due respect, I want you to answer for clarity.
No, I can't tell you. It is very clear out there, unless maybe you are blind to what is being written in the social media. I mean, when people are writing and calling for chaos in our country, even some of them are even calling for the overthrow of this country, of this government. Are you trying to tell me that you don't see those ones?
No, I didn't see that. Who was saying
Okay, so
they
I'm just
wanted to
telling you that
overthrow
this
this
is the
government?
reality. This is the reality. This is what is happening. You are a decent guy, Sariang, and then you are very much a firm believer of democracy. Others out there, they don't believe in that. We have seen what they have been saying. We have seen who they are collaborating with, and then this is a reality of any situation. You cannot define and then also analyze the Gambian political context without having to put in those scenarios in place.
Okay, so here's the question again, Mr. Sillah. You've been
Yes.
part of pre-2016, and I'm glad you said you study communication.
Very much so.
And I think you've been part of the other side of the house before you get into MPP, and this is just all of us. I think when the temperature is hot, we need to calm it down a little bit. I think we all love the Gambia. And you know this, I know this. Jammeh used to say, I'm going to rule Gambia for billion years. He did not rule Gambia for billion years, because at the end of the day, the voters have this ultimate say to vote who will run that country. And you know that because you're on the ground.
Yes.
You're a minister. So at the end of the day, I think, but my other question is, you said it's different. 2016 and 2026 is different.
Completely
you knew
different.
You knew the key players,
and you still know the key players.
And you said you guys are doing everything to deny the opportunity to deny them to form that unity.
No. We are not denying. We are encouraging them to form a unity.
Well, that's good that you verify, because the first one you didn't say that. So I was a little concerned because okay. So here's the thing. What are the pressing policies of MPP government to address for the Gambian voters?
Well, it's the same thing. Provide the infrastructure, provide electricity to the rural people, and for the first time, in your neck of wood in the Badibus, we are providing roads there that have never been provided since independence. Almost, the entire communities in the North Bank region have electricity now. We are now almost 80% of the country, on electricity almost. I'm not saying, because you have to be very careful. I'm speaking English, I'm not speaking Mandinka or Wolof. So almost does not necessarily mean that, the exact 80%, right? But we are very confident and hopeful that by end of 2026, we will almost be 90 to 95% of the entire country covered electricity, right? And we have provided countless classrooms across the country, built new schools. We have provided, drinking points for, cattle, and, provided, seed money for, young women who, for the first time in their life, have benefited from this type of opportunity to start their own businesses. We have provided young people with countless opportunities, including the grant scheme that we are giving to young people to start their own businesses. We have provided the Gambian farmers, the opportunity to benefit from free seeds to agricultural implements, so that we can modernize this. For the first time in our history, we have a policy of a comprehensive, cogent, commercial farming initiative that is paying dividend. Now we are seeing Jar Oil and all others that have ventured into this, producing homegrown rice that is sold in the Gambia. And today, in some parts of this country, rice is sold wholesale $1,750 from $2,500. So we are focused on the real issues. And these are the things that your critics will not cover in the social media, because they want the Gambians to continue to be blind. And then we are also supporting initiatives across the Combos and the Nyomis for commercial agricultural investors to come and produce, onion and other vegetables and legumes in this country that can be affordable to the average Gambians. We are providing first-class infrastructure in terms of maritime, in terms of aviation, in terms of roads and all the others. Even though we have seen the tractors going when it rains, and there are floodings, they go and then put those ones in the social media to portray a picture that is not true. So I'm just telling you that NPP is focused. That is why we have a successor to our National Development Plan, a blueprint for developing this country, a highly recognized document that has been shared with international development experts, that has been shared with donors and friends of this country, and they all accept it to be a very good development blueprint. So these are undeniable facts that we have on the table right now. If you look at our economic progress right now, Gambia is being quoted in many international fora for doing the right things, even though we still have a lot of misplaced and highly misinformed people trying to wage a kind of a scheme that will make people think that nothing is happening in this country. But the contrary is the truth. The truth is Gambia is moving, Gambia is developing, and then an assemblement in the development of this country.
Thank you. We finally got you to stay focused on answering the questions that matters rather than going all over the map. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Go ahead, Coach.
As a junior brother, sometimes I have to do that so that I distract you because I know your mind.
Ebrima.
Yes, sir.
The youths play a very important role in any country.
Yes.
The only time that Gambians stay united, in my estimation, is when our national team is doing great. That's when people put aside their UDP caps, their NPP caps, their DOI caps, they come as one.
Yeah.
You've touted a lot of developments here.
Yes.
Roads being built.
Yes.
Sadly, though, to the young people, a country that is trying to, they say, turn our league into a professional one. The GFF announced that it is suspending the start of the league this year because of lack of
the start of the league
playing grounds. It is not the responsibility of the GFF to build playing grounds. That responsibility lies on the government. How can people take you seriously and your government for development when even proper playing ground we cannot have? We cannot have a stadium that our people can use. Now the league, where most of these young people now get jobs because if they play, now they get paid, are not able to play because we do not have grounds for them to play. What is your government going to do to solve this problem and how soon?
Well, I think, it is all clear that this government is very much committed to the development of sports in this country, looking at the massive infrastructure that we have started. However, the development of, football grounds in this country rests with the municipalities. You guys should go and ask your municipalities, your opposition municipalities, what are they doing with our money? Can you tell me one football field that KMC has built for the young people of this country? Can you show me one football field that even the Brikama Area Council has surface graded, to make it, conducive for the young people to play there? Can you show me one football field standard that the municipalities have built in this country? The central government's responsibility cannot be, transgressed into the responsibilities of the local councils. I think you guys should go and ask the councils, because some of these councils, the amount of money that they are collecting a month is more than some ministries' annual budget. KMC.
But Mr.
No, hold on.
I'm coming. Just hold on. No, I'll let you finish.
Our responsibility is the national stadium.
No, right? I'll let you finish. No,
our responsibility is the national stadium.
No.
Right?
You've conveniently mentioned 2 area councils that are led by the opposition. But must I remind you that Birkame Area Council was led by somebody who became a member of the NPP. And
that's
so
what I'm telling you. Whoever the councils are, whoever is there, I'm just I'm generic here. I'm just asking you, that the councils are the ones that are responsible for those type of little expenditure. And that is why, in fact, I see that a trend in this country, which is really very interesting, that the councils within the year or at the end of the year, they give some funds to the councillors for development. I mean, I would have been happy to really interrogate into this scheme to know whether they have spent any of the hard-earned dollars of taxpayers' money into, developing sports in their areas or doing, something in the fields. I know that in some of the councils, they will fence the football fields of, the communities, but to, pave and also to make it green and to make it very nice for young people to play there, I have not seen that. So that is where we should ask, because, for example, Kanifing Municipal Council alone, the amount of money that they collect in a year is more than the budgets of Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Digital Economy, Ministry of Defense combined. This is nearly 700, no, not defense, but Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Digital Economy, and Ministry of Local Government and Land combined. One council's annual, gross income. So if we want to properly interrogate these matters, let us also ask our councils, how much are they committing to this? I have not seen any of these councils, go nosedive into major development activities within their councils.
You wouldn't let
Look
them.
at the markets, how filthy they are. You cannot even clean our markets. You cannot even, provide the basics, shades for the markets. And yet, you want to blame the local, the central government for all this. No, it doesn't work like that. Even in the streets where you have pool of water, people will say that government has not done this. But they forget that they are paying tax every day to a council that's supposed to take care of those responsibilities.
But let me ask you a question, though. You mentioned that the central government is responsible for building a stadium. Maybe the absence of a stadium is one of the reasons why we have this issue. I was a coach in the Gambia. We had a national stadium where games were played. We don't have one now. So the failure, yes, the local governments could be blamed for not doing maybe some of the things, but the absence of a stadium, a walking stadium in the whole country, I think definitely is something that your government should also take responsibility for, because that's the reason why we don't have home games in our country.
No, we accept that. We accept that, but we have to ask ourselves, what gave rise to this? Because for a stadium that is more than 35 years, getting to 40 years, it was never properly renovated. Until when this government came into office 2-3 years later, it was declared unfit. You want to blame this government for that mess? No. 2 successive governments were in place. They never took care of this stadium. They never saw the needful to have even a much bigger stadium facility for our young people to use. That is what this government is doing now. Right now, land has already been created, and then we are in negotiation with different players, different investors to build between a 40 and 50-seater national stadium, and then to fully renovate the Independence Stadium in Bakau to make it acceptable at the international level. So that is something that is going on. I mean, with the exception of a few issues that were raised, recently, I can tell you that all the major works have been completed.
So,
now, do I have one more question? Because
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Ebrima.
Yes, sir.
I've listened to you here in your argument about the movement.
Yes.
You mentioned the other parties. You mentioned my party, DOI. You mentioned the UDP and all that. But I have seen something recently, heard it from one of your partners in Dr. Ismail Assisi. In fact, saying that there is no credible opposition party in the Gambia, that they have no vision. Is that your opinion, that we do not have credible opposition parties in the Gambia and our political parties do not have vision for the country?
No, I mean, I don't want to be appearing as if, you are pitching me against Dr.
No, I'm not pitching you. I'm asking you a question.
No, I did not hear what that particular...
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Ebrima Sillah, you've been in politics. We share the same newsroom.
Yes.
We've written about politics. We've followed politics. You've been in politics. In fact, became a member of the UDP and all that. In your estimation, at this very juncture, does the Gambia lack credible opposition parties with vision for the country?
No, I don't need to go into that. What I know is that we have opposition political parties.
Are they credible?
Whether they are credible or not, that depends on how people see them. And
No, but how do you
opinions
see them,
on them.
Ebrima?
What
Do you
I know,
see them? Do you see Doi?
No, how I see
Let's
them
say.
is that let me say this here, and I think I've said this on Peter Gomez's platform. The responsibility of any government is to make sure that you have an opposition that is very strong and that is very credible. Because if you don't have a strong opposition party, if you don't have a strong opposition, you give rise to splinter groups that come up and then disrupt either within the armed forces or within movements that will subvert democracy. And that is why it is important that whatever you are, wherever you are within the body politics of the country, especially the ruling party, you should always ensure that we have a very strong, credible opposition. Because they force all of us to work, we debate on issues. At the end of the day, when elections come, we win or lose, it is accepted and democracy triumphs. But when you have a weak opposition, and you have an opposition that is more focused only on an individual, like in this case, we have the UDP only so focused on President Barrow and the compound that he lawfully acquired in Fajara. Then you give rise to what we have seen now, the Unite, I don't know what is their name again, the Unite whatever, because they think that the people that matter in the body politics of the opposition are not credible enough or are not doing the right things. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry now will come and then try to test their own games. And we have seen some of them who have no standing even in their own community. We have seen some of them who cannot even, register their political parties because they don't have the required numbers. We have seen some of them who cannot even, boast of a membership of not more than 30 people, claiming to form, either movements or political parties. This gives rise to a situation where the opposition is weak and they are focused on the trivialities. So I think what is important here is to work with everybody within the body politics, the recognized political parties, to make sure that they are strong, they engage in, politics of engagement, politics of decency, and then we promote the debate so that at any given time, whatever the outcome of our seasonal elections are, it is the democracy that will triumph. This is what, we all have to, promote. So it's left to you, the supporters of PDIS, of UDP, of GPDP, and the rest, to ask yourself the relevant questions, whether you are credible or not. It's not for me to say that.
So, Mr. Sillah, what time be Balamonia? I guess you allow questions to be asked.
Is very credible.
Questions to be asked.
But whether his politics is credible is something that I cannot answer.
My politics is more credible than the president's.
Yes, sir.
I can guarantee you
so,
that.
Well, what I'm saying is, what time be Glamonia? We ask the questions, and then we'll give you every opportunity to answer the question. And Minister Sillah.
Well, I have not seen you active in politics of late, so.
Who is that, Pasamba? Yes. Or Minister Sillah?
Yes, sir.
So, this past week, couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm here, Father Mose.
Yes, we have witnessed. We all see what is happening in Tanzania. We all see what is happening in Cameroon. We all see what is happening in the sub-region. In other words, it is very easy to have democracy, but to nurture it, to consolidate it, is actually very important, because democracy can be very fragile. And what we don't want, we all know, during the time of Jawara, we were known to be having a semblance of democracy. I mean, everybody will agree that, especially within the sub-region. All it took was one day, all that was gone. In 2016, we were able to restore at least a semblance of democracy. And anybody who is fair enough, reasonable enough, they will agree that we are at a better place. in terms of press freedom, in terms of tolerance, in terms of all of us appreciate the democracy that we were able to bring about. But again, it has its fragility. The question is the consolidation. We built this democracy on one principle, Ebrima. You were there, Fekenga man Fekena, was for all of us to come together and we agreed upon certain things. One of the pillars was to make sure that no individual will ever rule this country for more than 10 years, because we thought that was important. We had what we had from Jawara because of lack of that. We all see what is happening with Jammeh. So we wanted to stay away from that. Nobody will doubt President Barrow has every right to run for elections per the Constitution for the next 45 years. Nobody will doubt that. And I don't think any reasonable Gambian should do anything other than to follow what is in the Constitution. But Ebrima, Tonya, if we are all honest, to consolidate that democracy, don't you think all of us, prior to 2016, yourself included, I don't see you supporting anyone to be president for more than 10 years. Ebrima, what has changed, my friend? What in God's name has changed? Where you were, where all of us were, what we agreed to, all of us, that no one should ever be president for more than 10 years. Ebrima. And don't tell me the Constitution.
No. You cannot
step aside.
Preempt what
you
I want
have
to
a
say.
party and NPP. But Ebrima, what has changed to Ebrima Sillah? Ebrima Sillah that fought to the nail to make sure that self-perpetuating, what has changed?
Nothing has changed, Uncle Musa. Can I ask you this simple question?
I'm supposed to ask the questions.
No. What constitutes anyone to participate and serve as a political leader in an election?
Ebrima, if that was the issue, we wouldn't have come together and Jammeh would have still been there.
Listen to me. You have to also, you have said your question. Allow me to also give you an answer.
Good.
What constitutes a constituted process for anyone to participate in an election?
I'm just listening to your answer.
No. I mean,
I'm just waiting to listen to your answer. I told you what the Constitution, President Barrow has every right. He has every right to run.
No, listen.
I am not doubting that.
No, listen. So if you know that is the answer, why are you asking me that?
No, my
because
question
that is the
is
answer. Because hold on, Musa. We are talking about democracy here and what constitutes our democratic process. All right, and participation in election and qualification to offer oneself as a candidate in an election. All right. Now, if there was not a mechanization to wholly and solely target President Barrow in the draft constitution, we would not have been in this mess. No, listen to me. Remember when the drafters of the new constitution came up with a clause that specifically stated about what led to the arrest and the release of, Hussein Dabo and his colleagues from Mile 2 and how that could be used as a barring clause for them to participate. What did we see? The UDP and Mr. Dabo first came out to say that, if this clause remained in the draft constitution, then they were going to go against it. Immediately, the same drafters of the constitution, new constitution, went and slightly removed that from the constitution. But what did they do? They deliberately backdated a clause in our constitution. Can you imagine retroactive clause in the constitution? Why have you ever seen that in this world? Because they were not interested. They were particularly focused on targeting one candidate. Musa, we have to engage in an honest conversation here. For me, I'm not here to massage.
That's what I'm interested in.
No, hold on. For me, I'm not here to massage people's egos or how they think I should answer the questions. The truth of the matter is that our democratic aspiration has been killed by the very people that we have entrusted with that responsibility to ensure that we have a constitution. Constitutional building processes, yes, there is hardly an agreement on them. But you cannot blatantly target an individual in a constitutional making process. That's what killed this process. When we took it to the National Assembly threw it away. We came back as a government, did the negotiations. We even went to Nigeria. We brought in all the political players and the leadership. No, listen. You are Musa. You cannot. You are entitled to your opinion. You cannot force your opinion on me as the moral backstopping for me, to accept that. I am telling you that this constitution would have been the best constitution in this country had the drafters done the right thing to ensure that an individual was not targeted. A clause specifically, a retroactive clause, that was put in the constitution. And even when we all went to Nigeria, as political parties and political leaders to remove that was a sticking issue. They still maintain it there. It went to the National Assembly. The National Assembly, in their own rights, look at it, and then they rejected it. Now we are left with nothing other than the same constitution that was used from 1996. No, hold on. We have to accept this, because for me, I am not here to think that what Musa said is what I'm going to accept. I am going to tell you what I'm just telling you what Ebrima Sillah believed prior to 2016. No. You are not in my mind. What I believe was the right thing. Because I worked with you. Because I worked with you. There was, no, hold on. I fought this is not ancient history in this country, but I never said that Sillah, under his rights in the constitution. Ebrima, are you telling me you did not subscribe? In the absence of self-perpetuating rule, we all came together. This self-perpetuating rule, that's what, that's why we came together as a team and they dealt with it. And if had the constitution been done the right way, we would not have been in this mess. There was a reason why that this was reason was because specifically our aspirations have been asked by the very people that we entrusted. No, what I'm saying is, give us a constitution that could be accepted by all. You are filibustering. In the agreement, I'm not filibustering. You know it and I know it. You are trying to evade an issue and try to superimpose what you think is important on me. I'm talking about consolidating our democracy. Consolidating our democracy also has to be done in tandem with the existing laws and rules. You guys know. You guys, what do you mean by you guys? You are discussing with me. Tell me, I know. NPP as a party. No, you are not in my mind. You are not in the minds of the other people. No, because the truth of the matter is this. Our democratic aspirations have been dashed by the very people who should have used that constitution to give us a book that is not a witch hunting, instrument targeting an individual. And we have seen the drastic thing that they did. That was a fatal error on their part. Just because an opposition party leader made a comment, you went and then withdrew that from the constitution. And then you still maintain a clause that was an outcry that you are targeting an individual. It's discriminatory. It's unacceptable even under our laws. There was already a judgment in this country about retroactivity. You guys, in November, hold on, April 10th and 11th, when Yahya Jammeh tried to bring in a retroactive clause in our constitution to indemnify the soldiers, our sister Sabali went to court and argued against it, and it was thrown away. These people were behaving as if they were not masters of the courts. Some of them were judges, some of them were lawyers. How could they easily forget those realities? And you expect politicians that sit in the National Assembly to accept that blatant targeting of an individual. Musa, for us to get this democracy right, we have to go into honest conversation. The honest conversation is the Constitutional Review Commission faltered in their own processes, and then that was a fatal error. Yes, you will not accept. I am here in the ground. I can guys have replaced videos and audios and statements that came from the UDP, and then that particular clause was moved out of the constitution, was removed. You can, me, I'm the man from the off-go. I basically said per the constitution. So when I'm not debating the constitution, that. All I'm saying is this: to be qualified as a candidate in this country, you have to use the constitution. How can you disregard constitution? Then what are you relying on? I go regular convenient, right? But when we were trying to put together an agreement, I'm telling you, that was the reason why. But anyway, my next question. Yes, sir. You see, the commitment of this current government, the NPP-led government, yes, to corruption, yes, it's very questionable. And what we witnessed at the national... Wait, hold on. Let me ask the question. Daniel.
What, no, you have to allow me to ask the question. Minister
No, I'm just
Sillah.
laughing. Don't be threatened. Don't be threatened by
I'm not threatened.
smiles.
I'm not
Don't
threatened.
be threatened by my smiles.
So, I've heard you. I've heard Information Minister.
Yes.
Whenever the question comes up in regards to whether the government is committed to fight corruption, what they would always say, going back to the Jammeh days, there were no serious audits out there. Nobody was saying anything about it. The only reason why now you were talking about audits and things like that is because of your commitment to this, to fighting corruption. You've said that before. Dr. Sillah has said that before.
And I keep saying that.
Minister Sillah.
Yes, sir.
And please don't tell me this is in the courts and we can't discuss this. Forget about the courts. I know it's a legal issue. I'm talking about the court of public opinion. There's not a single reasonable person that has witnessed what we saw. An Auditor General, Monday, mun fana be bur sante njaay tay mangé soga gisul melni. Someone who is supposedly offered to be promoted for a job, and the person said, thanks, but no thanks. I like the work that I am doing. Somehow you guys said, no. The president offered you the job, you have to take it. And then take it further to remove him. Not only violating the constitution, that is in the Supreme Court, that will be determined, and I have no doubt in my mind. Now it's going to go Modusis's way. And to tell you the truth, honest to God, really, it makes sense to me what the man has said. Why are you guys so obsessed with removing him? What's the problem? What is there to be hidden? Please help me understand. Change my mind.
I mean, I cannot comment on a matter that is before the courts. That's sub judice. As a public official and as a minister for that matter, I run the risk of being dragged into court for commenting on a substantive issue that is highly contestable within the jurisdictions of this country, and it is already active in the courts. Now, if you think that the Auditor General has all these facts that you are talking about, let them go to court, let them provide those evidences in the court, and then we argued as a government, and then the judges will give us the verdict. As a minister, I am seized on this issue, and I'm not going to comment on it because, I mean, it's sub judice, and it is against all acceptable, norms for me to do.
Let me follow up, because I knew that was the answer that I was going to get. No doubt about that. I knew that's exactly what you were going to say. But let me follow. Can you help me understand one thing? The Auditor General.
Yes.
It was in the news. They asked for information database from the GRA. Ebrima,
I'm not privy to that. I'm not privy to that. No, you can't ask me questions that I don't know. I am not privy to that, and I'm not aware of that. And I saw that this is a substantive matter. Let me
rephrase it this way.
As evidence in the no, let me say this. Let me quote this, because this particular issue that you talked about, I see it as one of the substantive issues that the affidavit that this particular guy swore to is a fundamental issue there. Whether it happened or not, I cannot comment on it because I don't know about it, number one. And number two, because it is a substantive, evidential issue before the courts, I don't want to say anything about it.
Let me rephrase it differently. What's that? No, let me rephrase it on a hypothetical.
Okay, rephrase. I'm here. I'm listening.
We have a Commissioner General of GRA who has access to that database because he works for us. He works for the government, for the people representing our interests. Do you think an Auditor General hired by us to look out, protect the interest, the revenues that we collect, shouldn't have the same rights to the database?
Well, that is an operational issue for the Commissioner General to answer.
Excuse me?
No, it's an operational issue for the auditor because the data access is something that I cannot determine for the audience of yours. This matter was a substantive matter that was a go between the Auditor General and the Commissioner General. And it is also one of the issues that is being relied on as part of the issues that could have been led to his supposed removal. I am not commenting on that as well.
They can go promote. Let's not get distracted. The guy was not originally removed because of that. The guy was was promoted.
If he is not removed, you want to tell me that what do you want me to say?
No, what I'm saying is you guys promoted him, and he's like, I don't want to be promoted. You said, well,
so
then
he
we're
was promoted. Now, if he is saying in the court that no, and this is why I said I shouldn't comment on this, because if the guy is saying that he was promoted and that you are saying that, and now they are saying that
he was offered a job. He was offered a job, but he said thanks, but no thanks. I want to continue doing what I'm doing.
Let's move on to something else. Matters in the court, I cannot comment on them.
Go ahead, Brother Marong. I knew he was going to tell me that.
Matters in the court, I cannot comment on them.
Honorable Minister, my question to you is, I listened to your last question. Answer. My question, it's two part because you and Musa takes too long to get two answers straight up. It takes about 10 minutes. So let me get these two parts together here. Is your ministry serving the people or it's serving the executive? And
well, I saw this question, the rest. Maybe you are asking this question on behalf of a questioner. I mean, a commentator on the first.
Correct.
By the nature of my work, by the nature of the activities that we do, we are fully charging our responsibilities to the Gambian people. Okay. Serving the Gambian people with what has been given to us as a mandate, but within a political context.
What is that context?
Yeah, because Ebrima Sillah is a political appointee of a political government that came to power through a ballot box, through a popular political, process, and we won squarely and definitively. Okay. So to think that you are going to divorce Ebrima Sillah from politics and his activities, you don't understand the governance process. Then that questioner does not understand what he was asking. Ebrima Sillah is a political appointee in a political government that came to office through a popular political governance process, and we won squarely and definitively. So whatever we are doing, you cannot divorce politics from that.
He definitely understands because it was the voters also. Let's not forget this. It was the voters that voted that government that give you that position. So it's a two-way street.
And who is benefiting from this infrastructure other than those voters? Yeah. Actually, it's not the genes and the wild animals.
But here's my other question, and that kind of goes into. So you said initially on your answers, you said reports that are not deciphered and didn't go through the proper process. Some are relying on those reports to create confusion and misinformation within the population. What do you mean by that?
What I simply mean, a good example is our ministry, for example. I remember when the draft audit report came out, and this issue of 377 million was mentioned as a discrepancy, unaccounted for. It was carried as corruption. They benefited from it. They chopped our money. I said, for God's sake, really? 377 million to disappear just like that? I, started digging into the files because it happened when I was not there though. But as a responsible minister of that ministry, I started digging into files and I came out with the facts. And I realized that those facts, in fact, were submitted to the auditors. For some very obscure, strange reasons, they did not contain those in their final draft report. And to carry those as a verifiable, fact is seriously misleading, seriously, alter to the, the principle of, truth telling. And that is why we came out with a press release to clarify the position of the ministry regarding that particular sum. And, those documents are there. They are there for anyone to verify and then, confirm.
Minister, because a coach needs to come in, and I don't want to drag. But what is the verifiable fact? What? I don't read the. You see, I don't even know that you submitted some information. But what is the
Well,
verifiable
I
fact?
did a press conference. I did a press release.
Okay.
I will forward the press release to you to say that, in fact, in 2020, there was an addendum to the contract. This was the roads in Sabak Sanjal area. The initial contract was 38 kilometers, and an additional, I think, 24 kilometers or so, or less than that, I can't remember now, was added to it. And there was an addendum to this. And all the payments and everything, the receipts, the documents were there. You know, how those could not have been, you know, accepted and carried in the final audit report was something that I could not understand. And that is why we came out and then, you know, brought the facts out there for people to know that some of the issues that people talk about, you know, I mean, they are not necessarily the true situation of what we are talking about, what we are dealing with. So I think, you know, Mr. Marong, you know, and one thing I have to give it to your program, you know, it's a highly credible program. You know, you may be very strong, you know, with opinionated issues. You may be, you know, very high up there on us. But the fact of the matter is, it's a very credible program. And then, you know, you do.
No,
wow, you know.
no, all we want is clarity. All I want is you didn't. I feel like you didn't even answer my question still. But I will wait for my second round. Coach, go ahead.
No,
yes,
I mean, I'll send you the press release. I can send you the press release immediately.
Ebrima, there is a questioner who wants to know the progress report on the Maria Makunda to Yuna Road, and that's one more.
Yes, I mean this particular road, we had some delays there, and we have just finalized the processes for the contractor to start work there. I mean, they have done base course, that is the final course level, all the way to the Maria Makunda Mosque. If you pass that, they are now going towards Latria, and our wish is that by first week of January, they should start sealing. That is the black thing that they put on the road. They should start sealing by that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now back to my questions. In your discussion with Musa about the constitutionality of seeking etat, Musa was not talking about the constitutional aspect of it because, of course, the constitution does not have any restriction as to that. And you are focusing on what the legality is. And there is always a saying, not everything that is legal is moral. We all know our country and where we came from. 30 years of Jawara. When he said he was leaving in 1991, people cried. So they made what ended up happening. So bandits came and took over the country. 22 years later, we are still looking for unmarked graves in that country. When GOFA was established after the 2011 elections, part of its core objective was electoral reform and also an end to self-perpetuating rule. When Adama Barrow came to power, he was selected about 2 days ago, 9 years ago, 2016. 2 days ago. I think it was the 31st or the 30th.
30th of October.
They were all excited.
December.
Not December.
No, the first selection.
A selection. As
you mean at the, yes.
Convention, yeah.
We were all excited. And there was a promise that he continuously made, apart from even the 3 years.
Yeah.
That he will not serve for more than 2 terms. That was a core belief that he had. I remember having a conversation with a particular minister. There was a discussion in ECOWAS on this 2-year term limit. The president was then on his annual leave in Mankamakunda. And he was contacted. You are the principal. We are talking about this issue. And the president's statement was very clear. I firmly believe in 2 terms. The Gambia support is 100%. Now, what we are talking about, yes, we had issues about constitution building. But the president also could have, in spite of everything that people might have done underhanded or otherwise, said, you know what? I will be the one to give the Gambia a new beginning. In spite of the absence of term limits in our constitution, I will not serve a second term and will be the first president in the history of our country who would vacate office, hand over to his successor, and then don't have to go in exile. But by choosing a third term, Sillah, I know you are a firm believer of term limits. Well, that's what I believe.
That's what I campaigned for this constitution to have.
But
that was
but again, why don't you think, in spite of
was
the
rock
failure,
on our feet?
No, okay, hold on. Why don't you think that, in spite of the failures, that the president could have still said, you know what, given all the issues that we have, I will not take a second term. You have said here a third term. You've said here that most of these other parties, like Ismaila was saying, they are old, they don't have anybody to succeed them. In the NPP, you have a plethora of people who can succeed him. You would make a great candidate for president, the vice president. You have the my parties. All these people are now part of your party. But what I'm saying is, would it not have been proper, given everything that we do?
No, don't speak on our behalf.
That's why I'm asking.
No,
I'm
don't
asking
speak on our behalf.
Question form.
Don't speak on our behalf.
Listen, we all dabbled into journalism. I know you did it more than I did. But what I'm saying here, would it not have been proper and appropriate, given everything that we fought for, everything we came from, and how we in fact came to Barrow being president? You explained here how you struggled to find somebody to run for the UDP. There was a reason for that. A dictatorship.
No,
the reason why we came together.
But you are in a guess game. You are. No,
I'm not guessing. I'm asking you a question. Don't you think that it would have been much proper?
No. You see, what you are doing, what you are doing is a guess. It's a guess game.
Yes.
Okay, I'm listening.
Pasamba.
I'm listening.
Coach,
yeah,
what you are doing?
Yeah, go ahead.
What you are doing is a.
He will never answer the question.
He will come back, because to me, it's not a matter of legality; it's a matter of morality.
Even my question, I put it aside. I'm like, we all know.
No, he will come back. But that's
yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened. No, what I'm saying is, what you are doing is a guess game.
Okay.
All right, because you want to bring in a guess game in a very serious political conversation, which has to be premised on what we have as a constitution and other laws of this country that guarantee anyone's fundamental right to offer yourself as a candidate within that particular context, and don't move out of that, because anything beyond that is a guess game. All right, and I don't want to go into guesses. All right, within that context of a circle that we are talking about, the Constitution, the electoral laws, and other instruments that we have in this country. Has President Adam Barrow violated any one of these to offer himself as a candidate? Has he?
That was not my
so
question.
Why are we into this conversation? If we are all serious about hold on. If we are all serious about this particular issue, at the time that this chaos has been visited on us as a country, we would have all stood up and say, hell no, this should not happen. But because it was targeting President Adam Barrow, everybody thought it was right.
Please.
Nobody came out with a credible voice to condemn it. But when, the particular issue about, UDP and how it affected Mr. Dabo, all constitutional experts and so-called intellectuals came out and then said this is not right, this should not happen, blah blah blah, and then it was removed from there. And I think we have, for me, anything that can be discussed out of this very credible, lawful process, I don't want to go into it because it will be seen as too unfair.
Yeah, can I?
Too unfair.
Do I have one more question? Or?
Yes.
Okay,
Ebrima is giving the same answer. He's
No,
not really.
No, it's It's okay. I think the question I had was, in fact, beginning to escape me because I have a very, very important question to ask. No, you and you know what? There were people talking about my Hamgafi is a bantaba, so I have my gerte bahal. So just like you do in the
Oh,
bantaba,
okay.
so you put your gerte bahal
No, you're violating our rules, and
I'm not. There is no rule here.
I'm gonna deal with that after the program. So, Ebrima,
No, go ahead. If I remember, I'll come back with the
Minister Sillah.
Yes, sir.
For me, there were times on
Oh
this
no,
platform.
I remember my question, Moose. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sillah.
Yes.
There are some very important positions in our government where before the president appoints anybody, he has to do it in consultation with the Public Service Commission or the Judicial Service Commission. And that is to ensure that there is due diligence. The person that is appointed now, the current Auditor General, there are reports about some issues in his dealings while he was in government, whether he was arrested, charged with theft and all these things. We've also seen the appointment of the IEC chair.
Which year was this?
They said during the Jambe time or whenever. He was, they said he was.
Because I don't know the Auditor General. I've never heard about his name.
Okay. Because I've read this report. We've seen the president now appoint my friend, Joe Colley, who was a classmate of mine from primary 1 up to high school. You know him all his life. As the chair of the IEC. And his appointment came at a time when the Gambia Police Force has a report on the desk of the Attorney General's office telling that they should investigate or prosecute. They're investigating the IEC for some monies that were deposited in private accounts. Does the government, does the president make sure that whosoever is appointed only after there is a thorough investigation of that person to ensure that we will not have any problems going forward? Because all these appointments, these are very, very important positions, especially the Auditor General, the chairman of the IEC. These are not positions that you can just wake up tomorrow and tell the person that you have been fired. It goes through a process, and that's why we are going to the Supreme Court. Do you guys do due diligence to ensure that if I am appointing Musa Jeng as the Accountant General, that all T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted?
Well, let me first say that the two gentlemen that you talked about, first the Auditor General, I've never known him. I only came to know him when his name came up as Auditor General. But remember that we came from a system where anybody can just be charged with trump-up charges and then, you are framed, all right? So I don't know what actually happened, that, the issue of the Auditor General with former President Jammeh's government. I am not aware of it. I'm not affair with any issue that might have happened between them. And as a result, I'm not competent enough to give an opinion or an answer on that. Secondly, the issue of IEC that you talked about, I mean, I am not aware of any police investigation against specifically Mr. Kwali. If it was an institutional issue that they talked about, yes, I mean, probably that could be. But whether it was targeted at individuals, I am not aware of that.
Well, you've just been divorced officially now publicly by Tukulor C. So I think that's what that's.
when she comes behind the scenes, to plead, I will also go public and say it. And she has a lot of tears. She will always go out and then be crying to everyone there. Okay, we continue. Tell her that I hear her.
That's my sister. But go ahead, Mose. Thanks, Mose, for
allowing me to come
back with that question.
Yes, sir.
There is absolutely no doubt that the current government, there are ministries that, for me personally, I think highly of them. And we need to patronize you. I think Minister Sillah, who was a journalist, and I've seen you being the Minister of Communication, Digital Economy, and now works. I don't know whether you're caught up or not, whether you take kickbacks or not. I have no idea. But what I know is, I think you're doing a good job. under any
Yeah.
under any administration, they would like to have somebody like Minister Sillah. I've said things about the former Attorney General, Batambedu. For me, I'm not driven by party. The Minister of Finance, seriously, and this proposal that you have with the PPP, I come here every Sunday and I defend it, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. But I believe in it. Now, where I have a problem is the man at the helm, and that is President Barrow. I know he's a decent man, but I think, you know, when we see him campaigning, that's what he loves. He's very good at that. When we see him governing at this critical juncture of our democracy, at our country,
Yes.
I mean, we need someone who really loves the job. For me, sometimes I think that is missing. I don't think he's intellectually curious. I don't think he's really gung-ho. I don't think he really likes governing. And that some of you guys around him, because you know there will not be NPP without him winning an election. But I think left to him alone, he would walk away. What do you say to that?
Musa, all what you are saying is theory.
It's theory.
All right? Yeah, it's so theoretical. And, you know, theories don't move political space. All the things that I hear people like you talk about. President Barrow is one of the biggest intellectual minds. You know, you see, when you don't talk to people, you don't know. An intellectual...
biggest intellectual mind, seriously?
No, intellectual curiosity does not necessarily mean that you have to go to university and read all the books and then, you know, you have a certificate. It doesn't work like that.
I did not say that.
That's book knowledge. No, I'm telling you. Because all these issues that you talk about, go and sit with President Barrow and start talking about, you know, politics of this country, governance, wisdom. Wallahi, Musa, you will get a pocket full of any issue good that you want to talk about. It is unfortunate that people judge people based on the English language.
No, it's not the English language.
I mean, hold on, because this is not, it's a Gambian mindset, Father Musa, Father Mos, whether you accept it or not. All this, you know, issue about somebody, you know, not intellectually savvy or blah, 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 is because to them, they are not really articulate enough in English language. And this English language, that we learn from, you know, white people, what has speaking English language done for anybody? You talk
English
to
language
real people,
you are the one going there. It's not about the
matter
English language.
in terms of,
I'm talking about
discourse.
loving
Wallahi,
to govern.
I can tell you that. No, I'm telling you, this, because you see, loving to govern, who can be more loving to govern in a country like ours than President Adama Barrow, who is delivering and accepting all kinds of, you know, I mean, unacceptable behavior from people out there, and then he accepts them. You hear him being insulted, his parents being insulted, his family being insulted, he being caricatured all over, and he accepted because he knows that democracy is a wholesome game. He knows that democracy comes with this type of terrain. He knows that democracy comes with, you know, a situation where you have to, you know, be tolerant. He is ready to govern. He's governing, and he's doing the right things. The critics are the ones that are not accepting the fact that we have a president who is tolerant, who is doing the right things, who is focused. That is the thing. That is the thing, Uncle Musa.
So, Minister Sillah, let's talk politics 2026. Yes. I have said
NPP
that
victory.
NPP and President Barrow is very vulnerable.
How?
But I've also said that if the opposition, if we don't do our homework, and I put we there to include myself, I think come December 6th, we will lose the elections. But if we do our homework, we come together. It doesn't have to be like how we came together in 2016. But if we're able to come together, Ebrima, and we put up one candidate, I think December 6th, all of you guys will be out of a job. What say you to that? Why do you think it worked in 2016
Musa,
and it wouldn't work this time around?
For several reasons. And unless you want to deny yourself the opportunity of what prevails politically on the ground. For several reasons. The kind of opposition that we saw came together in 2016 cannot happen now. Because what you are talking about with a tongue in the cheek is not necessarily that you want Hussein Udabo to lead an opposition coalition. Because how you say, the way you say it, how you people come together. So what we are seeing and hearing is that Mr. Dabo is hoping that all the other political parties will come and rally behind the UDP, and then they will form a grand coalition to fight the NPP. That to us is something that may not happen because some other political parties will also not leave their political party just to do that. All right? But assuming that all things being equal, all the political parties come together and start fighting on a platform against the NPP, we will still defeat you.
Oh, come on now. You know you don't want that. You know you don't, because you're banking on that somehow these people, there's no way they can come
I'm
together.
saying that even let me tell you, UDP, so-called strategists have already said that there is very slim chance of seeing a united front between them and Talib's movement. All right?
Strange things have happened in the past. Strange things have happened in the past.
They are not going to be dragged. No, hold on. Yeah, I mean, I am saying that even if all of you come together and form a united front, we will still defeat you hands down.
Based on what?
Humiliating way, for that matter.
Based on what?
Because we are dealing with the real people. Based on the fact of what we have delivered, based on how strong we are on the ground, based on what we are dealing with in terms of the real issues. The real people, not the critics on social media. Not the critics that are coming on for the people, by the people, and then bash Ebrima Sillah because of what he's saying. No. I have just already told you that for us, we know how strong we are in the base that we are, or in the basis where we are. In every village in this country, no matter how small it is, I'm telling you that we have a minimum of 23
based on
members of our local executive. Each of these people have a unique way of reaching out. And then, we can tell you, unlike your movement that is going around, unlike your movement that is going around doing helter-skelter, registration, and then claiming that those are their ardent supporters. We have real solid supporters who we are dealing with. I can tell you that even assuming that, we have a voter population of, say, in 2021, we pull more than 400,000. Assuming that 50,000 of those have even gone. All right? And there is no addition. President Barrow is still going to lead by maybe 50.05%. Do you know that? Assuming that we have given 50,000 people to you people, and there is no new addition to us. And there is a registration process with a variable of 10% addition to the new registration of voters.
And then those people are going to vote for.
To lead by 50.05 to 08%. Don't you know that?
I'm going to tell you this.
We don't talk just for the talk. We don't make noise.
I'm going to tell you this.
Your movement may die even before they even start.
No, this movement is not going to die. I can tell you that. Let me say this.
Yes.
And you can take this to the bank, record this. There's going to be December 6th.
Yes.
If the opposition parties find a way.
At a baila.
You see, that's what you are banking on. That somehow, just like people were banking on that prior to 2016, saying that Jammeh was banking on that this opposition party, Halifa Sallah and Hussein Dabo, will never be able to come together. That this
we are saying that even if you come together.
No.
Musa,
so you guys are banking on that. But I can tell you this and take it to the bank. If the opposition find a way to come together.
Musa,
I think
let me tell
Barrow
you,
and the NPP
we have
is
done
beatable.
our scenarios. We have done our scenarios. We have done our scenarios. And by the grace of God, we'll come back to this platform and talk about the real issues that matter after the 6th of December 2026. You people, all what you are doing is just theory.
And you're
we are
not
dealing
theorying.
with real issues on the ground.
You're not engaged
Theory
in theory,
does
and
not
we
mean-
are. We are
No,
dealing with
we are-
real data. I told you about
Musa,
Cyprus.
this
I
is not
told you about
theory. This is not-
Afrobarometer.
this is-
If it is anybody doing the theory, it's you.
Okay.
60% of the electorate said your president should not run.
Okay.
And they said if he runs, they will vote against him.
Okay.
I mean, that's not theory. That's data-driven information.
Okay.
Yes. And 55%
Okay.
said they
Who
would
are
want
those?
Talib
Who
Ahmed
are
Bensouda.
those people?
55% said they would want Talib Ahmed Bensouda to run. And that's why you guys are scared to death.
Oh my
That's
God.
what Lulu
Talib is a known commodity in our body. You see, Talib is a known commodity in our body politics. And I guess you understand this because Talib came from an established political party that he cannot rattle. Much more a governing party whose leadership are very strong on the base. You guys, you have to get this thing right. What you are theorizing here is in fact going to hit flat on your faces because at the end of the day, UDP, let me tell you one thing. With all what you are seeing right now about Talib or all the issues that they are talking about, the UDP solid base and their 17 to 26, 27% is strong behind them. Maybe out of the entire voter population that voted for UDP, not more than 10,000 people are going to Talib. Do you understand that?
No, the movement is not targeting that. The movement is targeting
I'm
your
telling you.
soft support within the NPP.
Can
I ask a question
have.
too, man?
That's the
That way we
biggest
can
fallacy.
move, man. It seems
Go
like
ahead.
That's the biggest
you
fallacy.
guys are
That's
back
the
and
biggest
forth on
fallacy.
this whole thing.
Because the NPP is so strong that even if I told you, all the opposition parties, if you come together, even if you give you 50,000 votes and voters, we are going to still win by 50.05 to 08%. Do you understand this? With a margin of error. In fact, I put the margin of error
I'm going to
at
bring
7%.
you mano or mano.
And if we put the margin of
even
error
my
at
co-panelists.
3%,
I want to take you on that. Seriously.
Boris, oh yes. I mean, I'm ready.
All right, Honorable Minister, I know the diaspora and the folks that are active on social media became lately as a punching bag and everything so-called, they are so, disconnected. But Honorable Minister, post-2016, these same individuals are the ones who sat on radio programs, online radios, create WhatsApp groups, mobilize, send funds to their families, their constituencies, to mobilize and get voters to where they need to effect that change. So my question is kind of hypocritical and somehow double standard. If these same people who have families back home who actually contributed billions and billions that they send to their families on daily basis, which is a great part of the economy, what do you say that always saying that these people are non-entities? I mean, what makes folks part of the president says diaspora is backward on Fenyo. And I think it is very ill-conceived. And I listened to you several times. You keep saying, social media, they are disconnected. How do you navigate through those complexities?
No. I never said social media is disconnect because I am on social media and I use social media very well. It's not only those, when we say social media, sometimes some of you take offense because you are in the diaspora. It's not only the people in the diaspora that are on the social media.
No, I don't take any offense. I just want clarity.
No. We are very, very, very present in the social media. And I can tell you that we don't diminish the fantastic job that the diaspora is doing. And I came from the diaspora, my brother, and I know, the wonderful efforts that the diaspora has been doing. I have had the opportunity of working in South Sudan, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Senegal, and also Uganda, and 6 months I spent in Rwanda. So I have been to almost, every continent in Africa, where my work took me, and I have had the opportunity of reporting on several countries when I was working with the BBC. So Alhamdulillah, I know the power of the diaspora. I know your contributions. I know what you can do. I know the knowledge. I know the expertise. I know the intellectual power capacity that you people have, and also even the financial muscle. So personally, I can tell you that, we very much appreciate the diaspora, But what we should also understand is that when we talk about social media, we don't only talk about diaspora. In fact, I want to believe that there are still very active, many active users of social media within the Gambia, to a point that we can now say Gambian social media users are becoming more relevant and more daring. So that is not the issue. I think when I say social media, is where those that go there and think that whatever they are saying is, the Bible or the Quran of the situation on the ground. No. I mean, sometimes you can go to social media and get misled. You can say things that necessarily are not true. You can say things that necessarily are not actually the facts of the situation on the ground. These have to be accepted as, we go along on the situational, realities of the issues that we are dealing with.
All right, thank you. So the other question is, you talk about your support base. It's great, and this is based on real data. But Honorable Minister, as a sitting government, the major municipalities, the government couldn't win those. And in fact, I will take an example, particularly KMC, when a sitting minister was singly recruited to run for that position. They got people all over the international community to come and compete. Still now, NPP could not win that municipality. So now I am curious, and the challenges of the government, and let's not get carried away by the euphoria from Sukuta yesterday. You hear real challenges of everyday Gambians. There are struggles from getting, the meals, taking care of their families.
Farmers.
Yes.
Innocent movement. The movement that nobody can get the name right.
No,
Do you want to play the ad before?
You can, man. Go ahead and play the ad. This is a loaded question. So, anyways, go ahead.
Ebrima.
Well, he's very passionate in defending his,
Is he defending or is he spinning?
Well, you call it one.
Global Properties observes Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get tested and know your status.
In honor of the fighters, survivors, and the ones we lost, Global Properties is giving access to women to own a plot of land at Greenville today.
We are making it easy. Buy a plot of land with 0 deposit and 24 monthly payment for only $20,833. Early detections saves lives.
Sorry, Sari. Actually, I was running on a low battery. I didn't realize it. So I
thought this was,
laptop actually.
Mental challenges. So
no. Because I have a handheld device. So yeah.
So how long are you going to be with us?
The what?
For how long?
Until all the questions are finished, man. Why are you trying to give him a pass? He said he was ready to come up for the people by the people.
No, I was just trying to find out so that we can know.
Well, I mean, I guess
I'm going with Mahrib and all of that in the Gambia. I'm not sure.
Oh,
of
okay.
course. I
Yeah,
mean,
at least let's go for the next 28 minutes. That will take us to 4 o'clock.
I am ready to go on and on and on. I mean,
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sorry, yes, if you can repeat your question again.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So the question was, you keep repeating data, keep saying data. We have real data. In fact, you just said Barrow is going to win about 50+%, 2026. I don't know where you get your forecast from. But here is my question. My question was, this exuberant confidence that you got, and the data is there, the core base is solid. And my question to you is, as a sitting government, you have major municipalities that you guys couldn't win. And those municipalities are currently occupied by opposition. Now, my question is particularly, I use KMC not for any other reason, but because NPP has invested heavily into that. In fact, recruiting a sitting minister to provide for that position. And you guys had all the machinery from diplomatic mission to be sent on KMC to vie for votes, even though you guys came short and you guys were defeated. Now, my question to you is, where are you getting this data and this popularity and all these nuances that comes with it?
Okay, let me answer the situation through a factual base so that you will understand. Immediately after the presidential election, you've all seen the exuberance and the excitement and the overconfidence within the NPP camp. And we had seen a ferocity of a number of candidates who actually expressed interest to vie for parliamentary and local government elections in even core areas that we have won. And during that selection process, of course, something fundamental went wrong. I mean, the executive thought we were going to reward, those that have been loyal to the party with some of those positions when they, offered themselves. But the actual voters had a different idea. And because we did not listen to the people at the time of these selections, we lost miserably. And that was a huge lesson. So that explains why, you could even see the voter turnout. The voter turnout was low. And also our supporters did not go out to vote, majority of them. So that was a big lesson. Now, the issue of data, why we are so confident, why we are so exuberant. The truth is, you people are relying on secondary and third-party information to do your calculations and to do your analysis. We are dealing with first-hand information based on verifiable data of our supporters and also through scientific analysis and comparisons between, say, our candidate and a grand coalition of all political parties. What is the scenario? What is the likely pattern of how people would vote? Who are the demographics that are going to vote? What is going to be the likely challenge for us? How are we going to, narrow those challenges? Who could be the likely candidate of this opposition? And we have about 6 or 7 of them that we were thinking. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, our political party with the UDP and 3 other smaller or 4 political parties come together. Who is going to be the head of the coalition? Probably Mr. Dabo. How are they going to form this? What is the strength of this? Who are the people that are going to be there? And then, what are the likely issues? How will the voter patterns would be? Then we say probably our candidate against probably Lamin Sane of UDP. How popular would it be? How are the others going to be, the cities? How disenfranchised will be the core supporters of Dabo and the rest? We look at all these scenarios. Then we go to say an NPP coalition versus maybe Unite and some of the like-minded political parties, including PDOIS. What is it going to be? Noise and all those things. How voting is going to be? How, the young people will vote. Those things, we put all these scenarios together. Then we look at also, a female candidate. All right? So these things, this is real data that we are dealing with on the ground. All right? You people are relying on, consultancy, work of CEPRAS and Afrobarometer to, do your analysis. That's what I'm telling you. We are dealing with real issues, real data.
Your data is real, the one from CEPRAS is not.
just Musa, just for the record, I just want to point this thing out to the minister, the honorable minister, with all due respect. You sounding too Trumpism here. When it's in your way, it's okay. When it's not, they rig it. So anyways, I think consultancy is a big part of what you do every single day. And you, in particular, your ministry, they rely on consultancy on all the roadworks, and their feedback is very credible to you. So I just want to point that out.
Yes.
There's not only
Yes, but we hire those ones, so that information is for us. No, we hire those ones, and it's not reliance on secondary information, and we have a greater input in it ourselves. Our engineers are there, they are involved. We prepare the concept notes for them. We tell them, where to go and do these consultancies, how many kilometers we want to do, what we are looking for. So they know already, a framework is prepared.
No, I was just referencing the consultancy part, not per se to point you, but I am trying to make a reference that you cannot have two tongues. If the consultancy works in your ministry, it should work into collecting data and sharing it with the respective parties. And Coach, we got to give the minister, Coach, you got the floor, man.
Minister Sillah, I want to pivot a little bit.
Of course, it's a secondary information. Look, you are dealing with third-party information. No, hold on, let me finish here. Because I want to officially invite Sarian to come and join NPP.
So he has become a very low-hanging fruit? Is that what it
Sarian,
is?
do you hear that?
Sarian,
no, but I don't want to. But now I think I will wait. I will wait for my second round, then you can impose that question to me, please, and I will have a very good answer for you.
Yes, so
the low-hanging fruit officially inviting him to come and join the mighty NPP.
The mighty NPP. Ebrima, every time young people are out in the streets to do anything, protest or kids with weed, we see the police presence. They get arrested, and this has now led to the death of one person. Which is
I'm officially inviting you.
Oh, am I being heard?
I think so. Maybe he's.
Maybe he's delayed. Ebrima, can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay. Now, every time our young people are out in the streets,
he's not hearing you. Oh, no, there was a delay.
Yeah.
So, Sarian, Minister Sillah,
I'm NPP for the next 2 weeks.
You're a low-hanging fruit now. I'm telling you.
All I wanted to know is how they are collecting their data and how confident he's saying they're going to arrive at 50%. And I hope some strategies are listening behind the scenes. So that's all I'm saying.
They're not collecting any data. Kid of a spin, right?
Musa, you know me, I politically I don't lie. You know that. I mean, you can say anything, but I can tell you that me, what I do, I'm very good at it. I don't have to come here and praise myself, and I can tell you that we have all our scenarios out there. We know everything about what you people are planning. We know your weaknesses. And because I don't want my Uncle Musa to be, sitting on the platform on the night of the 6th and start wondering, where did
Where are the votes coming from?
Where did you get it wrong with your all your this big analysis? Where are the votes coming from? I don't want that to happen to you.
Yeah. But Ebrima, the question that I have is, every time our young people are out in the streets,
I don't want, because for me, yes.
Okay. Every time our young people are in the streets, there is always police presence. Whether they are protesting or the police going after kids smoking weed and all that stuff. But there is a more dangerous menace to the livelihood of Gambian, because people who smoke weed, they're only destroying their lives or whatever. We've seen this drifting that is happening in that country. I recently saw a video just recently where this kid just ran over a young man, little boy. And they just jubilated, and then, we're all happy and all that. And I'm asking myself, where is our government in all this? Because these people are doing this. It's not like a 2 minutes affair. And Gambia is so small. Wherever they're doing it, people know they're doing it. They are videotaping it. Sometimes it is live. But we have the absence of the police, because most people believe that most of the people who are associated in this or engaged in this are also people whose parents do very well. Is the government taking this drifting seriously? And if so, why has it not been stopped?
Well, we are taking it very seriously. In fact, just to inform you that we have already drafted a law. My ministry and the Ministry of Interior are working together on this, because right now the Motor Traffic Act is very weak on some of these issues. It is a 1948 law. And at that time, some of these complex issues, are not, were not really present. So now we are, in the draft, Motor Traffic Act that we have now, or the transport bill that we have now, it takes care of this issue affirmatively, and that the punishments are severe. In addition to jail term, the vehicle owner can also be held liable for allowing his or her vehicle to be used. Also, if they have caused any accident, especially the destruction of highway or, poles, traffic, street lights, all those things can be. And then, we can even impound the vehicle permanently involved in it. So the law is very, very stringent. And for repeat offenders, they can be given up to 5 years in jail time. So I think, parents that are encouraging their children to do this have to start thinking twice, because they are not only a danger to themselves, but they are now a danger to, the communities where they do this type of, unruly behavior.
Mr. Sillah, recently, a Senegalese sitting member of parliament who also doubles as a political commentator made a statement on one of the TVs in Senegal that there were about 20,000 diplomatic passports that were produced by the Gambia government and given to various individuals, including government officials or Senegalese and all that. Yeah. Now, the government came back and said that is not true, that the amount of diplomatic passports that were produced by our government is 3,030, something like that.
Yes, 3,030, yeah.
Yes, but it is also a fact that we had an issue with diplomatic passport. In fact, one of the cases just concluded where the former driver to the president was acquitted because he was involved or accused of being involved in selling diplomatic passports. First, why is it so hard for the government to produce a list of diplomatic passports issued to Gambians, given that it was issued on the name of Gambians? And I don't think anybody could do anything. It's not like revealing anybody's privacy. And second, how secure are our diplomatic passports, and who are they giving it to? Are they giving it to people who really deserve it, or are they being sold? So if they're not being sold, if they are going through the right process, what is so critical about just producing a list and say, you know what, these are the sum total of Gambians who rightly are given diplomatic passports, because we should know who should be given diplomatic passport. There are clear guidelines that must be followed.
Well, let me say that there is a lot of misconception about the issuance of diplomatic passport. The issue of people being issued a diplomatic passport is definitely a privilege that is accorded to those people that hold this document. And as the norm is around the world, it can be given to diplomats, public officials within a certain category, like say permanent secretaries, to ministers, to managing directors and director generals. It can be given to people in the foreign service. It can be given to Gambians that are in certain categories of that are set within certain categories of international positions in other, institutions around the world. But it can also be given to people that have invested heavily in this country, businessmen and women that have invested heavily, and that does not necessarily mean that they are Gambians. All right? This happens around the world, and it's a privilege that is extended to them. Now, if you look at the numbers that we are talking about here, 330 from 2017 to now, that I think is
3,030.
3,030.
Okay.
From 2017 to now, I think that is a manageable number that, we can say has been, managed very well. And those that are in charge of this process do so with caution before they approve anybody's appointment, anybody's issuance of a diplomatic passport. Now, I doubt whether what the politicians said on that program was correct. I think with all the facts that we have now, it appears that what he said was a lie, and that it was done out of a political desire to tarnish the good image of the Gambia. And the fact that, he premised it on a very shameful assumption that people who ran away from Senegal or have issues with the Senegalese government come through Gambia, and Gambia facilitated their movement to third countries by issuing them diplomatic passport, including former President Macky Sall and his family. That is a blatant lie. I'm sorry to say this, but it is completely false. And that is done with one intention. That is to pitch the Gambia against the Senegalese government. But the good thing is that, the people that are in charge of policy and governance of Senegal know very well that no such thing ever happened, and ever done by the Gambia. The truth of the matter is we have a lot of this armchair, critics and people who sit on political platforms in different parts of the globe. They talk about issues about the Gambia that actually are completely false. And the way they say it, you have to be, a seasoned. No. I'm saying those non-Gambians that, seemingly show interest in our body politics. The way they sit on platforms, and talk about the Gambia is so shameful, because all what they say, 90% of it is deliberate lies and, shameless information. And it's unfortunate that our people take such information so seriously. For God's sake, you and I know, Coach, when we were in this struggle, any information that came from people like this, we used to take it with a pinch of salt. We used to investigate. We even had a working committee that would work on information like this, because we knew also that, at the time, the system was also doing this type of things, so that when it was carried away by people like us, it will be discredited. For God's sake, we are not doing that now. And I don't know how we could have lost our sensibilities in some of these issues. How can somebody who does not understand anything about the politics of this country, about how, in fact, a government is run, sit there to say that, the government has issued over 20,000 diplomatic passports? 20,000 diplomatic passports? For goodness sake, that is not true.
Minister Sillah.
Yes, sir.
We all know that being a president is not something that is taught at schools. You don't go to university. There is nothing like President 101, a class that anyone can take.
Yes.
I don't believe so, right? We can all agree to that. So if you look at, one could say, going all the way back to the First Republic, our first president, President Jawara, a decent man, a reasonably smart man of his time. He was a veterinary doctor. That's who he was. No experience whatsoever. So on day one after 1965, that's what we had. A president with no experience. Fast forward to 1994. Here came a 29-year-old, 32-year-old guy with accountability, transparency, probity, no clue whatsoever. On day one. Fast forward to a gentleman, your guy, who walked into that convention hall. He was going to be the candidate for president in 2016. I could still remember back at that time, people like Ebrima, Sillah, Pata PJ, not him.
Who
basically
said
saying, hold on, we all didn't know the guy. Basically saying the guy wasn't ready in day one. Hold on, I'm coming with the question.
Who says so?
Hold on.
No, I mean,
he wasn't ready
you cannot
himself.
Something to me.
President Barrow said, hold on.
Let's clarify that.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you.
Me, I was one of the people.
I'm just teasing you. That's not where I'm going.
Because for me, I campaign within the UDP to be selected as flag bearer.
Yes, relax. Yourself and the Alcalde contest, fine. But what I'm saying is, himself, he said, no experience. I'm going to rely on people from day one. There are some people, myself included, who is saying, we have this young man by the name of Talim Ahmed Bensouda, the supposed leader of the UMC. Here is a guy, compared to all these presidents that we had before, he will be ready on day one to be president because he has executive experience for 10 years. He has actually managed a budget. Here he's somebody who has been a political leader, who has actually governed with the right prerequisite. Why am I wrong to say that? In fact, he would be the most qualified on day one to become president of that country compared to the last three that we had since independence. What do you say to that?
So said Musa Jeng.
No, what do you say to that?
I say to that because this is
How am I wrong?
You are completely wrong.
How am I wrong?
Because
doesn't the guy have 10 years of almost close to 10 years of executive experience?
What you have ascribed?
Hasn't he managed a budget?
No. What you have ascribed to this individual and described as potential for leadership, in fact, is a failure. To say that somebody was an executive leader for 10 years and then manage a budget does not make you a good leader. Musa, how do you measure a good leader?
Getting things done through other people, which he has done. I'm telling you, he is the most qualified compared to the three leaders we had.
Musa, that's why I say, you people, it's all theory. You people, what you are saying, this is theory. Is very worrying. Because you are focusing too much on the peripheries. Hamza Talib, let me tell you, and his movement is what we call a mirage. You understand? It's a mirage. When you are in the rural area, and then you stand from a distance, and then you see something glittering on the tarmac, and you think it is water, and you are thirsty. The first thing you do is to run, and then get to that spot. By the time you get there, you realize that in fact it's a tarmac. It's a glittering stone that is, shining on that tarmac, and then you see it in front again. You start running. So this is Talib and UMC. So much theory. No, I'm telling you, we have our foot on the ground. And you see, this analysis is making me very scared. Man, I'm worried because if
What are you worried about?
If this is what you are using as a baseline for leadership, I'm worried.
Here is a leader who has been tested. He is one of the most scrutinized political leaders we ever have. Scrutinized. It's the truth. I'm not making this thing up.
Alaj Musa.
My second question.
Okay, let's move.
Apparently, you don't want to answer the question. I'm telling you, he's the most prepared on day one to become president without going through this learning curve.
Man, I don't want to be talking about this movement because what you are telling me is so unsophisticated.
I am telling you, I think the man is ready on day one to take this country to the next level. But this is my. Let's go back.
I thought you were going to ask me about all these controversies about Jammeh coming, and those are the things that matter to people. Not
Let me say this. Let me ask you this question. Minister Sillah, I have the reputation as the chief strategist for a reason.
Yes, sir.
I have pretty much, my antenna is up there compared to the past members of this world. Now, if we go back to 2021, I can tell you exactly how NPP won the election. And you can agree and you can disagree.
How?
NPP strategy was very simple. They ran on fear and they ran on identity politics.
Fear of what?
They ran on fear.
Fear on what?
And they ran on identity politics. They painted a United Democratic Party as the boogeyman. And they tell Gambians, whatever messages you guys put out there in 2021, that is couched in that language of fear.
No.
Hold on.
Musa, that is false. That is completely false.
Let me ask my question.
Okay,
please. Please.
Yes.
The electorate, you guys built a boogeyman, you vote for them, and this is the fear factor. On day one, this is what you're going to get. Gambians get afraid. And they use identity politics to the minority tribes. You vote for this party, this is what you're going to get. Most pundits will tell you, and political observers, that's what swing it to your favor. In 2026, unfortunately, it's not going to work. Because people have seen the movie, and this time around, it'll be much, 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 much more difficult to sell. And this is why I think the NPP, when you listen to your meeting in Sukuta, I seriously believe that this is a party in disarray. Because that formula, their go-to in their toolbox, is not going to work in 2026. What say you to that? I mean, I like that. All I do is ask the question.
No, it's completely false. It's completely false.
Why is it false?
NPP organized and ran a very sophisticated politics in 2021. We did not only go to the very nook and cranny of this country. We targeted those that matter even in the social media. We targeted the people that were in doubt. We targeted the people that were sitting on the fence. And then we came out with even documentary evidence of what we have done for the people, what we will continue to do, and what we stood for. For anybody to brush that aside and ascribe our hard-earned victory to identity politics and also fear-mongering is completely false. And the fact that you ignored a very fundamental issue in this analysis shows that really some of you will not be ready to tell the people that this is what happened, because days or months before the election, you have all witnessed what happened, that the UDP even had what they call black. They were going from one community to the other. In fact, it was so sad because this was the first time I have ever seen that a highly established opposition political party was using a militia to go around the country to instill fear in the minds of the people, targeting minority groups. You think a sitting government will sit there? No, hold on, listen to me. In fact, they were attacked in Kanilai. They were attacked in other parts of the country that were not majority Mandinka places or Wolof places. They were in minority places.
Ebrima Sillah, I don't think there is anyone on this platform and anyone reasonable enough that would tell you anything other than how this 2021 election was won. It wasn't won on issue. It wasn't won on NPP and Barrow is the most qualified to lead our country. It wasn't. It was won on identity politics and fear mongering. And that's the truth. Real seriously. The majority of people, especially non-affiliated party supporters, I think.
Musa, but you heard him, man. He kind of telegraphed what he was trying to tell you. He says militia.
Of course, they are militia. What was it about?
Exactly.
It is a militia. It is a militia. Because they were in black,
they were not malicious.
You know, I mean, going round from community to community, attacking people. Yes, UDP never liked this, and they even said they were going to take Sidin Jai to court over this. But this is the truth. Ask Ebrima Diba now of your UMC, the Tapura, in Fonyi, what he went through. You know, so I'm just telling you that the truth of the situation is we campaign on a very formidable, solid ground of truth and delivery.
Truth.
And people refuse to accept that. But if you ascribe our hard-earned victory to identity politics, so be it. Because we know that we belong to a larger community of Gambian, groups that have a right to participate and vote in any election. To ignore that a political party will have pickups, and they were in black, attacking people in their peaceful communities, accusing them of being non-Gambians, when they could not even prove those ones. The electoral list was published at all bantabas and polling stations in this country. They did not go to court to challenge anybody's name to be expunged from that list. So if anybody can talk about identity politics, I think those that were openly manifesting it to the point of even attacking communities from not participating in politics should be the ones that fingers should be pointed at, not the NPP. And the NPP has no time to engage in identity politics because we know that we are part of the larger Gambian community.
Oh, you guys do that a lot. Though.
And I can tell you that President Barrow combined has more votes in Mandinka communities than anywhere. This is the truth. No, I mean, we won in very strong, thick Mandinka communities. And you want to tell me that, those people also, they voted because of identity politics? UDP won on a clean ground. We won on clean ground in every, region of this country, except a few, constituencies that we lost. But cumulatively, we won the majority in West Coast. We won the majority in URR. We won the majority in CRR North and South. We won the majority in in North Bank Division. We won the majority in Banjul. We won the majority in KMC. Is that identity politics? Musa, come on. I think the very people who have been promoting that should be the ones that should be pointed at. We are a decent political party. We are a political party of all shades of opinion and communities. And let me tell you, what they say as identity politics, in fact, is a strong, forceful urge to go and get people on our side to vote for our party. Now, comparing it to what may happen.
It's almost 4 o'clock, right?
Yep. Well, it's after 4 anyway.
Yeah, another one can. So sorry, I guess you asked the last question, Pastor, but then it's fine, or
yeah, no, that's fine. And Seren,
Yeah.
if you don't have like anything lined up, I think it would be nice to know what is this government response to this visa imposition from the US, the fees, the 5,000, ten
Okay.
thousand. You know,
Okay.
I don't know what questions you have, but it's one question I really wanted to ask because I think it's important for us. We may not know the facts, but I think it is important for the people at least to get an explanation from our government, even though Trump is erratic and really crazy, but you know.
Bente affaire am bangi.
I will
Yeah,
ask that
you
as
know,
my second
But I
question.
think
that's
your
Musa's
StreamYard
president.
actually doesn't like me.
No, maybe
You know, your stream
I
your
thought your
StreamYard
president was
doesn't
going
like
to
me
give
anymore.
free
So
Wi-Fi to
Yeah, I mean, so this is
Gustavo.
what I'm
What happened
telling
to
you.
that?
That so 2026. So hold on. So 2026.
yeah, I'm listening.
Well, I mean, I am not minister of telecoms. You know, government made a valid, attempt, and it did not happen. So what I'm telling you is 2026. What will happen is that the NPP is going to win in many of these areas that you are even aiming to have a hideaway. Because I know, in fact, if there is anybody doing identity politics right now, because that's what you people are hoping on, is Talib and his UMC. Is it UMC or UFC?
Haniko.
Me, I don't even know your name.
I know we are
You know,
everything, but that UMC is not. Again, the last campaign in Bakau,
Uncle Musa,
Bad Dembo
are you
by
there?
force. What he used was fear and identity politics. That was the last card arrest. That's exactly what happened. The last card arrest
No. I'm
was
telling
done
you,
by Dembo
if there
by
is
force.
anybody who is
Fear
trying to
and
benefit from
identity
identity
politics.
politics,
He's in the other world, man. Please leave his name
But
alone.
it
That's
don't
how
yell
they
me.
say it.
Nobody don't yell
Yeah,
him.
but come
well, I
on,
don't
he passed
I
away.
don't want to talk about somebody who is no more among us
Yes.
to defend
Conveniently.
himself. No,
Okay, all
but
right.
what I'm saying,
Esa jawla mo gëna garaaw. These guys. Anyway, sorry, you have him.
Yeah, talking about this, I saw do Jaune
Yeah.
talk about the other day that I said that the UDP was a coalition, so should not lead. That's not true. I never said who should lead a coalition or who should not lead a coalition.
Okay, then they will
All I
get it.
said was how the
He wrote a
UDP was formed.
he
That's
wrote a
it. I
big
never.
reaction. He wrote a big reaction.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, in fact, I was going to respond, but something came up. Believe me, I'm not
Lengthy.
interested who leads a coalition and who does not. People know that I'm not interested in that.
it is telling me that your Streamyard is weak.
It's weak.
Blame Musa.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
his
Honorable
movement.
Minister, I guess I have the last question.
Yes, that's what it's telling me, that your streaming line is weak. I don't know how that is.
It's weak.
Is that Musa
Yes.
or me? I think that is Musa.
Yeah, it's
Not me.
Musa.
No, but let's clarify this. I think if there is any political movement or party that is hoping to gain from identity politics in this country, is Talib Ahmed Bensouda.
But
and
how?
Is it UMC or UFC?
Yago Genaham is UMC, United Movement for Change. It ain't
Yes.
long.
No, I mean that's Musa. Musa's movement is the only one hoping to rely on identity politics.
But
Because that is
how?
why we are seeing them going to minority areas, seeking votes and relevance. But I can assure you that the NPP will give you a decisive blow, so that by 2026 December.
Internet connection on Bosambila Boy. That's the Gambian internet connection. The bandwidth is like
I
that.
think when I start listening to Sillah, it sounds like the guy here to me. He never want to play by the rules. Whatever you do, you said it disadvantaged the other guy. We all lived and know what is going on, and they are saying they go, which minority folks? I mean, you go out there, you make your case to the voters, and you persuade them to vote for you. That's what it is.
That's what they're afraid of. I am telling you. I mean, we all know their go-to.
But I want clarification on this militia thing that he mentioned, because
what a militia! Ebrima Diba,
I know exactly. I know exactly what he's talking about.
But, they capitalize on that and use it as fear mongering. Boy, you never fake any coffee. What happened? You know.
All right. So Honorable Minister. I wanted a clarification on your reference of militia group.
Yes.
Black. And you and I both knows, because most of those guys that were black, they were your comrades, and they were part of UDP, and you know them. You know them very well because you work, you had a very close working relationship with them. And this, he said they were intimidating people and all that. Is this true that these are in fact militias, or they were out there to ensure that non-Gambians are registering to vote?
Ebrima, can you hear us? It looks like he's not even hearing us. Ebrima, I don't think he can hear us, unfortunately. Ebrima, can you hear us? I guess not.
Thank you so much, Sariang. If
Brother Marong.
Yes, sir.
It looks like the internet is not cooperating.
Yeah, because I had my last two questions, which I was going to tag them, was one, that what is the government doing about?
Yeah, Esa Jaula, I think you're very unfair. All through the program, we've been asking all the right questions, and for you to just jump on and say that we're giving him a pass, Esa, definitely.
The imposition of that, what is called the how do they call it? The State Department call it. You have to put $15,000 as a guarantor.
Yes. Like a bond. You have to put up a bond.
Bond. That's the key word.
To be given a visa.
Yeah.
Maybe that's crazy, Mom. That is something.
And that doesn't even guarantee you that you're gonna have it.
No, but you'll get the money back though. It's refundable. But how many Gambians can actually put $15,000 on a bond just for a visitor's visa?
That's
Ebrima is back.
That's $1 million now.
Ibrahim, go ahead, Honorable Minister.
Sariang.
Yes, sir.
No, just as a last question, as a last answer to your question, if UDP family believe that non-Gambians were registered in our electoral register, do you think, going around and then attacking people in their homes was the right way to do? What happened to the legal system in this country? What happened to the acceptable norms under the electoral law of this country to ensure that, the right process is followed judiciously to the level of the Supreme Court of the Gambia? How many lawyers are in the UDP that could have, actually, took that step at that time? Your party leader is a lawyer. You have Bori Toure there, a lawyer, and many, 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 many brilliant minds there who are lawyers. How comes they did not take that matter to court?
I love Minister Sillah, man.
He knows how to spin.
Oh, he knows how to weave off from the real question. This has nothing to do with taking them to court. This is the question. The question was whether these guys are actually
yes. I think that's the question that he doesn't want to answer because he knows they're not. Now, one could go back and question whether the move was it smart enough. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, because that's what they were relying on, to use this fear mongering and say, aha, we told you so. This is how these guys operate. So the politics of it, we saw it. But like I said, 2021 was decided based on those two issues: fear mongering and identity politics.
I'm going to start, Sasibopam. When I hear people like Demba Sabali, the most discredited minister in that government,
right,
and then this notion of because of Mr. Dabo accuses the government of not credible, the same government that gave me a diplomatic passport. You gave me a diplomatic passport because as a gift. It was something he effing earned as foreign minister and also as vice president. It's just utter nonsense. The level of mediocrity of our people, every little thing is this. Barrow is not doing anybody a favor by appointing you a minister. It should not be a favor. It should be based on your competence. The only person who is appointed based on favors is Sabali. That Sabali guy, because he is not supposed to hold any position anywhere, including the Ministry of Agriculture. You even cannot run that ministry, but you are giving a diplomatic passport. So every nonsense that they give, why is this man saying this? It was, and let's come back to even Usenu's freedom.
Yeah.
How many times did Barrow invoke Usenu's name during the campaign?
All the time.
So should Usenu also turn around and say, you were elected because of me?
Yeah.
Or maybe Jammeh should take credit for it because Jammeh was president at the time. Barrow the coalition could not have freed anybody. They had to ask Jammeh and as a gesture and say, you know what? As a gesture, we are asking you please to free this guy. So this whole thing about Barrow did not free anybody.
All right. All right. So, Honorable Minister, so I have these.
What is that about? What is that about?
What is it about is I am sick and tired of hearing people like Demba Sabali, the most incompetent minister in your government, talking about Usenu Dabo should not criticize the government.
No. I will not accept that.
No, you will not.
I don't expect incompetent person in our government. Demba is very competent.
So how is it?
You people don't like Demba because he is saying it as it is.
That is
bro.
He's competent because he's doing what is expected of him. I think the problem is people like Demba, people like myself, we will never enjoy the likes of a lot of people because we say it as it is. That is the only thing. Period.
Ebrima, Demba
has started saying it as it is.
We know
yesterday. We've been saying it as it was.
So please don't go down there.
Here is my argument. Here is my argument. This notion by Demba Sabali.
I don't care what people think about our colleagues, ministers. The truth is, we are not here to juggle dunks about those issues. The truth of the matter is we are in politics. You attack our people, we will come out and then defend based on the records of our people.
When Demba Sabali was in Wisconsin, I wouldn't respond to him because I never gave him any. Listen, all I'm saying here is there is nothing more mediocre, like a mediocre.
Anyway,
than to suggest that Mr. Dabo should not criticize the government because they gave him diplomatic passport.
Hold on. Coach, I'm using a handheld device, and anytime I put the battery on, it takes 2%, 3%. I take it out, and then it goes. I have to do that again. My device battery.
Let me ask you.
It's not the internet. It's not the internet, but my device's battery is
no
flat,
problem, Honorable Minister.
So I just want to tell you,
Honorable Minister,
I'm not going to sit here and you attack my colleagues. I accept. I'm not going to do that.
Honorable Minister, with your permission, sir, I got two questions, and we can call it a night. So, Honorable Minister, two questions. The first
what are those questions?
Huh?
Okay. Yes. What are those questions? I have 2% now before it goes up.
Okay. Both ask them together.
Yes, I'm going to ask you together.
Yes.
So, as you're aware,
Yes.
the United States put a bond for visa applications for Gambian citizens, posting a bond for $15,000. What is the government doing about it? And my second question is, I believe I asked you this before when you came on the program, maybe many, many months ago, a year plus ago. The turntable around Bruce B area, when you're coming from the airport and all that, there's only one lane, and it makes it really, really tight and for vehicles. And what is your ministry doing to address that? Those are the two questions.
No, 10%.
So you heard my two questions, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's one love in Trawale, isn't it?
Oh, you get 10%. That's a serious feeling.
People who don't want to hear Ebrima, Sillah, and the likes talk about their government. So let them rate us 0, but they will hear our voice. The fact that he could listen to me and rate me, it shows that what I'm saying is relevant.
But you got 2%. You have 2%. So answer my question. Don't pay attention to Trawale.
No, I want to say that the turntable, yes, we are going to actually fix it with dual carriage, going all the way beyond the facility, the health facility there, on either end, going to Burfoot end and going to Sukuta end. Now, for the other question about the $10,000 deposit or so, I mean, well, remember that this is a foreign policy decision taken by the United States government. And the Gambia government, of course, would have wished that this is not placed on the nationals of our country. But since it is a decision that has been taken by a foreign country, I think the foreign ministry is on top of this and they are engaging, and then we'll see what will come out of it. That's what we can say. But, I mean, we respect the decisions of sovereign countries as regard to, their foreign policy. If it affects us, then, we can engage. As I told you now, I'm left with only 1% because what I'm doing is I have my handheld device in my hand. When my battery is going down, I put it on and I remove the electricity cable.
We definitely,
for safety reasons, but it's not an internet problem, yeah.
So Ebrima, we thank you immensely. Definitely, it's always refreshing.
Thank you. And I think, Father Mose, we should have an opportunity to do a conversation on the future of our politics movement and our political party and the rest of the politics, political parties in our body politics, and then that will help you have a fuller understanding of really.
You're talking to the chief strategist.
What is awaiting you people? And Sariang, I'm renewing my call. You are fully invited, to be part of the mighty NPP. The doors are open, and I mean, it will make a great opportunity to have someone like you in our party. Coach, I know he's highly established on the other side, so I'm not even going to try, But I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, those who agree or disagree with me, those who support my ideas or don't support my ideas, those who think that we can do better. And then, I mean, we are trying our very best. What you cannot say is that we are not trying. And what you cannot say is that people are not enjoying the fundamental freedoms and rights that are bestowed on them thanks to the new dawn of democracy in our country. Thank you, guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Sillah. Thanks again.
We
will have you back. No doubt we will.
Inshallah.
I'll be listening to you behind the scenes. I'll be listening to you behind the scenes.
And we're going to come here every Sunday,
I have 3 ministers who are my favorite in the MPP government: Ebrima, Sillah, Dr. Cisse, and CD Keita. Those are the guys, man.
And that is why your favorite man is now also inviting you To be part of this, you know. We should have this conversation behind the scenes.
He's beginning to look like a low-hanging fruit there.
Oh yes. Who wouldn't want to have?
I thought that was Musa. What you guys lost Musa to the movement?
No, you know your boy Fatih. He says now.
Coach, Musa has been overtaken by the hype, and really, I think at some point because really, I mean, this movement. Me, I don't want to talk about them, honestly. Okay,
but
guys,
you know what?
Thank you so much.
There's gonna be December 6th, and we will talk about it.
Thank you.
Coach. Before we sign off, though, Coach.
Yes.
And Sariang. No, Minister Sillah, thank you very much. I want to say this behind your back, so I don't want you to hear it.
Like he cannot listen. Yeah, go ahead.
So
no, let me just sign up.
All right. What I'm saying though, it's talking about the meeting at Sukuta, obviously, an incumbent government. Nobody is going to question that we're dealing with, an NPP juggernaut that is not going to take a walk in the park to really defeat them. Whatever we think of it. Now, do I believe that they are beatable? Absolutely. I think it can be done. But it's not going to be easy. And for now, and that is why I really want to put out an appeal to both the movement supporters and also the United Democratic Party supporters. They went through what I would call a divorce, we call it nasty, and people are hurt. And I understand the natural reaction in a situation like this. But there is one thing though, difficult as it may be, I think there is a need to hold fire. I think there is a need for what I would call a detente, like Russia and United States used to have. I think there should be a ceasefire of some sort, because I don't really see the movement defeating Barrow by actually going after the United Democratic Party. I've said it before, and I've said it behind the scenes. It's not going to work. And I also do not think United Democratic Party thinking that because they're hurt, to go after Taliban, Suda, Kemo, and all these guys to get back at them, that somehow it's going to help them in 2026. I don't think it will. I think we should kind of take a chill pill and direct against the incumbent and allow things to evolve, because you never know. A year is a long time in politics. There are a lot of things that are possible. And if winning, it's really the key, I think we should demonstrate a little bit of restraint. Let's not go after each other, Bilal. I seriously don't think that it helps. It's going to make matters worse, and it's going to make it very difficult to put up a campaign that can defeat this incumbent. So, appeal. Let's kind of hold fire. And
it's politics, the contact sport. Go ahead.
No, but to go after each other, I don't see it working. Seriously. No, Esa, I'm not talking about UDP joining the UNC. That's not what I'm talking about, Esa. All I'm saying is, let's kind of have ceasefire and then go after the incumbent if we want to win in 2026. Let's allow things to evolve. Crazy things have happened in the past. Strange bedfellows have come together, no matter how difficult it is. That's all I'm saying, Esa. It's not a question of whether this person is going to join this person. No, I'm just saying, let's change the rhetoric. And the same thing applies to UMC too. If they think that going after the UDP is going to help our movement, I think they're mistaken. And again, that's all I wanted to say, definitely. And we will be back, inshallah. But what do you think?
You are asking for civility, huh?
Civility, hold fire.
I think what you said, definitely, at the end of the day, the enemy is not the UDP.
No.
The enemy is not the
UMC. Yeah.
In fact, it's not the enemy, but the opponent.
The opponent, exactly.
There is the person at the helm that you guys all want to replace. So I think there are more fundamental issues to discuss than politics yayam sindahala papam golala hibopam. Usainu Dabo is not responsible for the budget of the country. Ali Bensouda is not responsible for the national budget of the country. The reason why we do not have stadiums for our kids to play today is not because of Tali Bensouda. It's not because of Usainu Dabo. It is because of the central government that has failed to at least give us a stadium to play. So the focus should be, let's look at what the government is doing. And let's critique that. Let's enlighten the voters.
Exactly.
So that when the elections come, the people will make their informed choice as to who they think would best represent them. Because definitely sitting here and just being all angry about somebody for
it's not
what
going to
they
win
might
us there.
have done,
Yes.
I don't think it's neither here nor there to borrow from Musa Jeng. So, Man Musa, my thing is at the end of the day, hey, if you want to win, you work with partners to win. 2016, I was one of those who believed that it would be almost impossible to have Doi and the UDP in a coalition.
Exactly.
What happened?
It happened.
They came together with others, and what happened? The change that we so desired we had. But Musa, what I wanted to also say is there was somebody who asked me a question about the coming of your friend, Jammeh.
Oh, Jammeh, yeah.
What my opinion is. My opinion is very, very easy. I believe in unfettered justice, retributive justice. Those who commit crimes, to me, must be tried for the crimes that they've committed. And Yaya Jammeh is no different. He's been accused of being part of about 250 deaths in our country. Rape, tortures, disappearances without trace, and all these other things that he has committed. Up to today, 9 years after him leaving, we are still struggling. We are trying to find graves, unmarked graves in that country. Nobody can tell you where Ibu, Alaji Ibu, and Nakala Tura. Where is that nose? Is that nose from you?
Oh, it's from me, sorry.
Yeah. You know, nobody can tell you where the graves of these people are. You know. So all these people who've been killed, we're still waiting for justice. So if Yaya Jammeh, who committed these crimes on Gambian soil, wants to come back to the crime scene, I say, come on, so that at least we will have justice for the Gambian people. And I don't believe in this notion that, oh, we don't have courts that are equipped to try him. That's nonsense. The same way that Yakuba Toure was tried for the murder of Nakala Toure Korosise, yes. Be tried. One thing, though, that we must not allow is for anybody to come and abuse us again and we say, oh, no. And this is why you see the abuse in Africa continues. And they will tell you, oh, what happened? George Bush did this, Obama did this. Guess what? Do you see George Bush disappearing American citizens? Whatever crime you accused him of committing, he committed outside of the United States against other citizens. Yeah. But what we are saying, whatever these people might have done, that is not the Gambia. Our Gambia, the Gambia that we live, we cannot continue to have people, Musa, in our countries come and abuse our people, and all of a sudden politicians would sit at the table and say, you know what, forgive and forget, we just have to move on. No, we do not have to move on. People must be tried for crimes that they've committed. This is the same government that is trying to prosecute Apply Sanyang for things that he said. And we all know that what Apply said about burning the APS, that's not true. It's a made-up story. And all these things, they are trying him for that. They said crimes he must have committed on the Jammeh time, because everything that they accuse him of is almost happened during Jammeh. But Jammeh, the guy who was at the head of killing everybody, just forget about it. To me, hell no. If he wants to come, let him come. But Jammeh must be tried. And that mile too, there is no need to clean it up. It is Naka 5-star hotel. Let him enjoy it for a little bit. So, Tete Tarcham, that is exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, man, when I see people even kind of discussing that, man. Kind of like, He needs to come and all that. And quite frankly, there is a saying in Mandinka what Barrow said. If you're just and you keep telegraphing your departure, your incoming, you're not really ready to come.
But he's just talking.
And I think it's very, very sad, that people are even entertaining when you had TRRC and that's not even quite implemented, and people are talking about this guy's return to the Gambia. Who would have thought? That is just crazy, man.
He's not gonna come.
No,
let him come.
Oh, let him come and see, man. And I think this whole sitting MPs out there, especially the non-affiliated APRC, who are saying, I've made someone make the pronouncement saying that if he come, you guys try to attempt to arrest him at the airport, there will be instability.
They think they can threaten people or take the law into their own hands. Bro, I mean,
and I think the government too, there is this 70-year-old man, Mose, came to the country. They caught him smoking weed. They are taking him to Mile 2, cut his dreads.
Totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary.
And all these people you take to jail. These kids who are driving their cars, running people over, you just act like it's not happening in that country. What kind of nonsense is this? And cutting people's hair is just so stupid.
They need
to priorities, man.
That was very unfortunate.
Longer me is naturalized, is legalized all over the world from Nekani. It's utter nonsense. And you have people who are arrested with cocaine, young violent from their own bill, running around there. What kind of nonsense is this? We've had somebody come here and a whole container. They found guns there. Whatever happened to it? The government tried to explain away, or it was a mistake. But somebody was caught with weed and the person has to go to Mile 2.
Bilal Boybi, the solution is very simple. If we want Sidinjai to be gone, if we want Fabakari to be gone, if we want to make so elements like Demba Sabali to be gone, if we want like, what's his name again, Teneko New York to return back to New York. Sehumbalo to basically focus passport and be new at. I mean, which is possible. If we can put these people away, it can be done. It means the political parties need to come together, sit on a table, and forget about attack. This whole emotional reactions, put that aside, and let's just deal with the practical solutions. What do we have to do to make sure that this bunch are voted out in 2026? It can be done. That's where they're vulnerable. They are scared to death, but they're banking on one thing, that we don't have what it takes to come together. That's it. All Ebrima Sillah talking about this data, that. I'm telling you.
But he said it in his conversation. He said what happened in 2016, they are trying to disintegrate. That's what they could do and mix this confusion among people. And dump people to...
You know what, Sarian? I was going to. Ebrima was trying to spin what Ahmad Ba said. What Ahmad Ba said was very, very, very clear.
Very clear.
Mune. Gune goy udnam ak mag daw laaj mo fi am ñun benn threat lañ am mooy movement bi la jële waxu ne affaire so online media no what he was saying was and the biggest threat mooy the biggest mistake bu ñoo make mooy lu Jammeh defoon 2016 ak Mama Kandeh. He take him seriously and was the reason why he lost. So Ahmad's best calculation is either the movement can win or they can
lose the elections. I'm telling you,
that's exactly what he said.
And that's like, and you know what? What Ahmad Ba is saying, that's what most pundits are saying. People that are reading it independently. The UMC, if they put something together, two things more muna help. Because a good chunk of their voters are soft voters. These are not base voters for NPP and Barrow. They're not. They are not. They are low-hanging fruit. And they see somebody like Talib Bensouda, a newcomer that they can identify with. All these young voters. Lola Gai Ragal. And two things can happen. Either Talib would win or he's going to give them such a run for their money that UDP will sneak a win. That's what they are afraid of. My friend.
Yep.
Lola Gai Ragal. Mota money UDP. Hold fire, my friend. UNC, hold fire.
All of a sudden, and the thing is, if you see your enemy,
yes,
all of a sudden joining in a fight against somebody else, you have to look around and say, what the hell is going on?
That's true. That's true.
So it's like, because of, I think that their biggest fear, more this. And this is why you see, there is a convergence now, where they are, in fact, now the UDP, all of a sudden, they are lecturing Nakala to the people against betraying the UDP or Mr. Dawo, this, Mr. Dawo. That was short-lived. When Baro told them about this thing, he went on his rally and talked about this guy and Manmata Samu am diplomatic pass and Nakanyu Oyo ko HE so ko gisee nag
His Excellency.
Bro. But anyway, I need to go to the field, man.
To my UDP cousins, I know you don't take my advice, but if for heaven's sake, take it this time. Hold fire.
Ceasefire, huh?
Ceasefire.
Yeah.
UMC, I know some of you guys, sometimes you get a little bit carried away and you want to settle scores because of things that the UDP is saying. Forget about it. Our focus is State House. Ben Suda at the State House. That's what the focus is. Focus on that. Forget about UDP. They can't deny us that. Suñ demee nag ba nga xam ne àdduna wecceeku na li mun a xew bari na. That's all I'm saying. Li mun a xew dafa bari. So nañ ubbi bunta bi tuuti buñ ko tëj rek.
No, Musa Yeng. Oh my gracious, man. He gets this excitement and blood pumping in his veins. And then like, oh my God. Anyways.
But anyway, Brother Marong, again, inshallah.
Inshallah.
We will be back next Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, next Sunday we're working on a big one. We might have a very big one. As soon as we hear it, we'll announce it. You know. And let me just hint, Musa Jeng is going to be exempt from being on the soda day. So Boy Fatty, you will take his place. So we're working on something.
All right.
All right, guys.
Till next Sunday, guys. Later. Pasamba.